Yes, people, big up to all of you, and welcome back to another evening show on Chelsea Perspective. I do hope you're all doing well. Today we'll talk about Nicolas Jackson, Axel Disasi, Reece James, and some other news items we have lined up, not too many. And then also we'll look at the manager's press conference, analyze his comments, and see what we can make of it. Other than that, I appreciate you all. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I wholeheartedly offer whatever suits your time zone. I hope you're all doing well. And again, I will try to keep it as interactive as the Blue Morning Show. It's still on Chelsea Perspective. We like to keep it interactive here, and here your opinion matters. So sit back, relax, and let's get into the show. Once again, thank you to all of you that are already in the chat. Let's see what we have there. Wow, my bro, Constantin Dante. Let me say Ngolo Dante. I appreciate you joining. Probably early morning to you, 6 a.m., 7 a.m. Your time, but I appreciate you. And your message, the comment you left really did touch me because I felt like, what am I going to do now? But I promise you, the Blue Morning Show isn't dead. I just want a more, you can say, an easier schedule to help me as I'm getting closer to the research phase of my doctoral program. It becomes even more difficult. And to be honest, YouTube is the reason why I'm not done with I haven't finished my doctoral program yet. But I'll get there. And I appreciate you, Constantine, that all the support, the love from you. I will not disappoint. The Blue Morning Show will be back, especially during transfer windows. But I want it to be back as soon as possible. But more importantly, I appreciate you. Always nice to see you. And Mitchie Boy is in the house. Mitchie, always nice to see you, even though I don't like you. But I want anybody that's watching right now. We have just 13 people watching. If you haven't, please take a second, go check out Mitchie Boy's YouTube channel, subscribe, and let him know I sent you. Believe me, you will not regret it. And Mitchie, I hope you're doing well. Probably you are at work. I hope everyone been well. We've been well. We miss you, but we understand. And hopefully you don't give up on us. The promise is that, yeah, the Blue Morning Show will be back. And Michi Boy, anything else here before we start addressing the item we have here? Oh no, Chubike Franklin. Chukubike. I know the meaning of the first name and the second name. Franklin is an English name. Is of English origin, maybe, and I don't know the meaning, but I know. But frankly, more importantly, I appreciate you finding the time to join. I hope you're doing well. Feel at home and express yourself. All we ask of you is just to keep it civil. Thank you so much, Franklin, for joining. And please, Franklin, do us a favor. Invite all your friends that are Chelsea fans that you know. Believe me, they will not regret it. They will thank you later. And for those of you that are watching, and for one reason or the other, you're not able to participate in the chat, just know that we appreciate you. Yeah, you watching alone does go a long way. But we want you to do us one more favor, just to take a second and drop a like on the stream. We'd really appreciate that. Constantine Dante says 5 a.m. here, but up as looking after little ones. Yep, that can be a job on its own. And here's the thing. Constantine, I think which means if we move it 2 hours from now, like 2 hours, like that should be 1 a.m. 1 p.m. my time, or maybe 1 hour more. 1 p.m. my time, then it'll be 7 a.m. your time. Maybe that will work. But let's see. We'll work out something that works for everybody. But I appreciate you. Always nice to see you, brother. Family first. Made me laugh, coach. Did I? But you know I don't like you. But even at that, I'll still tell people to go check out your channel. Hopefully we'll have more people join. And they should go check out your channel. They will not regret it. And because I know you deep down, I know you know football very well, especially at Chelsea Football Club, and you know I mean that when I say it. And Ono one says, I would do that right away. I appreciate that. That would go a long way for us. And if you have any WhatsApp group or even Facebook group where you belong, share the link to the show, they can come join us here, and it'll be more fun. The more people we'll have here, more fun the show will be. So let's start addressing the items we have lined up. And the first item here is a report from Simon Phillips, where he says Chelsea's recruitment strategy. I have to open it more. Okay, it's complete. Chelsea's recruitment strategy in the close season. Okay, as they signed 13 players, and policy of talking to multiple targets for every position left numerous players and their agents are feeling unhappy at being overlooked. The prime example being the comment from Mohamed Kudus's agent, saying they had an agreement with Chelsea and they were waiting for us, but we were lowballing Ajax, his club at the time. Yeah, for me, that's the way it should be. You have to have plan A, B, C, D. That's usually how clubs work. So once if you miss out on plan A, it'd be easy just like this for you to get your plan B to work for you. So I'm not sure what they want to hear there. So I'm proud of my club. I'm proud of the fact that they were looking at multiple targets at the same time and not risk not risk a situation where if they miss out on their first target, then getting the second will be a problem. So you work on them simultaneously, and then if A doesn't work, you go for B immediately. Oscar is in the house. Oscar have been leaving comments, plenty of comments, but haven't been in the chat for a while now. Oscar, I hope you're doing well. Oscar, do us a favor, help us invite more and more Chelsea fans. Would really appreciate that, Oscar. But Oscar, I want to say thank you quickly for all the comments you leave whenever you watch the videos. We really do appreciate that. But more importantly, nice to see you. Getting subscribers, but views are struggling with an international break and time slots. Yeah, you could argue that. You and I, we're still small accounts. We're not big accounts yet. For big accounts, even when views drop, they still be getting 10,000, 15,000, 3,000, 6,000 views every. If they like, they can release the video even when people are in the church, they still watch it. So, but you and I, we're still growing, but we'll get there. But views for you and I will continue to, you can say, will always increase during transfer window periods. But we're getting there. We're getting there. We're here. We're at 17,000 plus. You've joined the 1,000 subscribers gang. It's a progress. So don't worry about it. It's a pattern that I'm familiar with. So I'm not too concerned. Oscar says, I feel like we should sign Osimhen. I have my argument with regards to whether we should sign him or not, but I'll just throw that my particular argument out of the way. Here's the thing. I'm just going to say this. As long as the manager understands, he needs to readjust the way he likes to approach the game to accommodate Osimhen, because we can't just expect Osimhen to come and be, again, let's make it 50-50. Osimhen makes some adjustment to fit into the way the manager wants to play. The manager will make some adjustment to accommodate Osimhen, given that he's operated mainly as a traditional number 9, and Mauricio Pochettino isn't known to playing with a traditional number 9. So that way, yeah, win-win for both parties, and Osimhen will hit the ground running. That is, if we're able to get him in January, because I'm quite sure if you were with us during the last show where we talked about, we addressed the comment from De Laurentiis, that is the Napoli president, where he said they've had an agreement with a verbal agreement with Osimhen since July, and he hasn't signed. And that if Osimhen decides he wants to leave, something to that effect, I can't quite remember the exact words used in that particular report, that they're fine with it. And he then went on to say Koulibaly had just a year left on his contract, and look how much they made from his sale. So, and you've heard, I think some of you here must have heard me, again, I'm quite sure you've heard me say, even if he has 3 days left on his contract, Napoli will not sell him for cheap. That is just my opinion. But let's see what happens. Hopefully, he's not going to come for cheap. I will go again. Yeah, that's it. You don't give up. You will pick up. Trust me. That's coming from a fellow content creator. We're not a big account here yet. But one thing that makes us unique is the unity. We, again, as a community, we are like family here. I've been on Mitch's channel. He did a couple of shows your times. That's fine. If we're not, again, I think Mitchell will benefit from the fact if Blue Morning Show isn't on and I'll talk with him to find a way that he will be the one benefiting when Chelsea Perspective isn't doing the Blue Morning Show. Maybe, yeah, I think it will benefit him. Yeah, let's see what else we have here. Yes, so Chimera, always nice to see you. I appreciate you. I love you too, brother. Much love. Need to win a bit Arsenal. We need to do that. It's tough, coach, but I am a battling. You should. Honestly, if I tell you how many times I've thought about giving up, especially when it was affecting, you've heard me say that. I'm not through with my doctoral program yet because of YouTube. And that was when I looked at it after the sacrifice, I said, no, I'm not giving up. I can't delay the completion of my doctoral program and then give up on YouTube. But that's, by the way, we're here to talk about football. So keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Got an ad? I'm not sure I understand that. You do a great job, Michi. Michi is an excellent football analyst, in my opinion. I am subbed. Yep, Oscar is subbed. Oscar is not he's not new here. It's just that for a while he's been just commenting on videos released. But Oscar has been more than 2 months here. But keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. So let's see. Yeah, for me, I am happy that the fact that our club or the club's hierarchy, they look at multiple targets at the same time, having plan A, B, C, D, and on. So if we miss out on any particular target, it'd be easy to get the other one done because we've already started conversations with them. So in my opinion, big up guys, Cube, Mobarik, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well, Mr. Cube. And thank you. And let's see people exchanging pleasantries there. And Oscar is saying, okay, let's move on to the next item we have lined up. And I appreciate you all. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. We have 8 likes. We should be doing better than that, people. Let's try and see if we can get it to 100 by the time the show ends. We'll have 20 people watching. We had, and it just changed to 15 now. Let's move on to the next item we have lined up. And don't forget, we'll look at the manager's comments from the excerpts of comments from the manager's presser and try to analyze them, make sense of them. All right, this one here, Mikel Arteta giving little away on Saka and Saliba's fitness for tomorrow. Says they will be checking in on them both today. No manager would like to let you know whether he has a fully fit squad or is struggling. It's something that you can say why is Nightbot deleting what's his name? Okay, maybe he typed quite a lot of messages. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that, Oscar. If you're listening, apologies. It's the machine that's policing the chat, probably looking at how many messages you've typed at the same time, and seeing it as spam. You're spamming the chat, but apologies for that. Mikel Arteta I would do the same if I were Mikel Arteta. No manager would want you to know what they intend to do if they're going to play against you next. Saying hello to Chimera. Let's see. Might work. Let's see what else we have here. We do need likes. 10 likes. We can do better than that. Let's see what else we have here. Okay. And okay, we need a lethal and an experienced finisher who can bring the best out of our amateur strikers. Here's the thing. I'm going to tell you this. Chibike or Chiboy. I think I'm not. You see the rumors we're seeing with regards to Chelsea's interest, pursuit of Victor Osimhen. At this point, I'm just going to say they're all rumors. I'm not going to believe it until it happens. Because here's the thing: Chelsea are going for a striker, one that will cost a premium at that. Comes down to how well Nicolas Jackson, Amanda Breuer, and Christopher Nkunku, how well they do, in my opinion. So, and Osimhen is not going to come cheap. Even Ivan Toney will not come cheap. But let's see what happens. It's all speculations at this point. Nothing is certain, in my opinion. So let's move on to the next item we have here. Chimera, Oscar, you don't have to say sorry. Here's the thing. The Nightbot is a machine. It's not a human being. And I haven't found a way to, you can say, to make it to be to set it to be a bit lenient. I don't think you didn't do anything wrong, but probably because you're seeing your messages as spamming, because you're sending multiple messages at the same time. So that's why you're saying it like that. And apologies again. I'm going to explain myself. And please try not to use uh, three emojis or four. Just use one emoji. It will delete your message again, and I don't want it to time you out at any time. So Oscar, I don't look like him. Maybe just because I'm dark. Let's see. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. Broya is injured, I heard. Wow. That's seriously concerning. I don't know what is happening to us. Let's move on to the next item. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. We have this one here. Players with 40 plus tackles and interceptions and combined in the Premier League this season. I'm sure Constantine Dante is not going to like this one. I'm quite sure. I'm pretty sure. I'm certain that you're not going to like this one. Marvelous Nakamba has 41 in total. Conor Gallagher second, the whole league, 40 in total. And if you ask me, I'd say that's the reason why the manager likes him. His numbers, and I think we've talked about that 1,000 times. He's doing well. Is he the best player at Chelsea? I say no. But right now, actually, he's more important than some of the players we have within our ranks. And the manager likes him. And that's all that matters. Let's see. If he can help us win game, I'll take him. But he's that sort of player. If the club sells him, it won't bother me that much. If we keep him fine, I know there's a good player in him and he can only get better. 13 likes, people. 13 likes. We should be doing better than that. I keep dropping the likes on the stream before we move to the next item we have lined up here. Oscar, Nightbot, and Jay-Z add the machine. Yeah, Oscar, apologies that he deleted your message. Don't use more than one emojis. Keep it at one. Gradually until you become a moderator. Once you become a moderator, you will not be able to delete your messages right now. So we'll move on to the next item. So anybody in the chat want to say anything with regards to what we're looking at? It makes me happy. As much as I'd still say he's not my favorite players at Chelsea. And I still think he will. Again, his one thing I like about him is his spirit. He's very committed. And even if Romeo Lavia recovers tomorrow and the manager decides he can also play in that right-hand side in a 4-3-3 structure, I'd say he's still capable of fighting and keeping his place. And that's because his industry is something no other player within our ranks right now can measure, in my opinion. And this here says, Oscar's Nightbot, explained. Dante, I want to hear your thoughts. The fact that Conor Gallagher, the second most successful tackles. Let's hear you. Is this successful? Interceptions, second highest number of interceptions, 40 in total, and just one behind Marvelous Nakamba. That's not easy, in my opinion. Give him some credit, man. That start is for losing teams. Not the best start to have, but it just highlights something that you can say that he's been doing well, in my opinion. So let's move on to the next item. I knew you were not gonna like that, and I did say that even before you spoke about him. Let's move on. I think we're gradually getting into the manager's oppressors, but this one stood out. People expecting too much of 19-year-old Malo Gusto. A lot of people, when they talk about him, they often mention that he's no match to Reece James. Reece James is more experienced, but Gusto is an excellent footballer, good defender, and it can also put in good crosses into the box. I get it. He's not been consistent. In a single game at one, he got 2 assists, but he hasn't done that consistently. But I think that would change. The kid is just 19. And as good to see, it is just 19 years old. To me, I think he will get better. And this says Mauricio Pochettino on Malo Gusto. And he says, you asked me about a player who in the last month didn't play. He's really young, but a great talent, and tomorrow has the possibility to play. difficult to judge a 19-year-old player. Something we've talked about here. He came up from a different league, and Chelsea is about to win. It's about winning. In a project with very young players, with the circumstances is tough, but we really believe in him. He's only 19. I am very happy. I wasn't happy when he was sent off. I think it's crazy. He's going to be good for the club. He's an excellent player. I'm going to keep saying that, and a player that I like so much. I will never again give up on him. Again, there's no reason to give up on him. Actually, the only complaint from people is that his crosses have been awful. But he joined us. He had a good record in terms of his crosses, accuracy of his crosses before he joined us, in my opinion. But we'll move on from that. We have Jerry Z in the house. Jerry Z, big up to you. When you record video alone or with anybody, you put on blazers and look like you're the president of a certain country. But when you come here on the panel here, you hide behind the camera. But that's, by the way, Jerry Z, I'm just kidding. Here are the items we've addressed already. We've talked about this. I think it's irrelevant right now. Mikel Arteta, that one is irrelevant too. And the first one was, okay, Chelsea's strategy, but that's nothing too. But let's hear your boy, Conor Gallagher, the second most number of interceptions in a game in total this season. You must be very proud. Let's hear you. You want to talk about that? If not, we'll move on to the next item.
Good afternoon, Coach.
Big up to you. You heard what I said about you putting on blazers when you record alone.
Yes, I did. And I'll promise you right now in front of everyone who are listening, if Chelsea beat Arsenal, I will come on your show the way you want me to be, right?
No worries. That's not a problem. Believe me.
No, I'm just saying that. Of course, I will definitely wear the suit and come on the camera, but that is the plan. But if Chelsea wins tomorrow, then I'll just be coming on with the suit right away. So yeah, with these stats, again, numbers don't lie. People don't appreciate it. It's a fact. It's not that what we see on the screen is, of course, the game that has been played, right? The performance that has been done, it has been played, it has been displayed. This is registered, right? So it's concrete, it's discrete. So yeah, I will again request the Chelsea fans, all of the fans, first of all, it's my request. I don't know if they'll listen to me or not, because if they have a certain perception of any player, it's Conor Gallagher, any other player, it's difficult.
Let me start by telling you that Constantine Dante will not listen, but go ahead.
Look, I am a Chelsea fan, right? And my entire family, maybe people don't know, supports Liverpool FC. So I'm the odd one out. In Liverpool FC, I'm not promoting Liverpool, don't worry. They back the team till death. And I see my dad and everyone over here do that. They back the team to death. So I have this feeling, this desire, when I see and talk with the Chelsea fans, they should back them to death, as much as possible. And for Conor Gallagher, okay, I can understand last season and all the performances, they were absolutely mediocre. But let's have a fresh start. It's a new team, new manager. Give Conor Gallagher a clean slate, just like you have done with all the players, right? So let's see. If you want improve, if you want continue to improve, fine. I will probably be the first one to say, now it's time to move him on. But he's improving. The thing is, he is improving bit by bit every other game. So yeah, Conor Gallagher, and again, is an all-round player, right? I'm sure you will agree with me, Coachila. He's an all-round player. He has many traits, and his runs.
I'm not going to agree with that of all-round. I think that's a good player in him. He's still learning. He can only get better. He's what you can say, arguably the most improved player on the under Mauricio Pochettino. Right now, I won't go to the extent of saying he's an all-round player, but he's a good player and can only get better.
Yeah, with all-round, I mean that he can play in different positions and he can do different roles.
Okay, so, a versatile player, maybe. That language would have been, yeah.
Sure, I need to improve on my words. So yeah.
No, you're excellent. Your English is better than mine, for being honest here. But his thing, we're just using his language, or maybe...
Anyhow, so the thing is that Conor Gallagher is improving, and let's see, let's give him a chance, man. Let's give him a chance, people, ladies and gentlemen, people of all background, different background. Please give him a chance. and let's see, he's really improving, right? So yeah, his numbers are really impressive. Let's see. I know that Caicedo, Enzo, and when Lavia will be back, it will be difficult for him, right? So it's good for Chelsea, right? And why should we give Caicedo, Lavia, XYZ a feeling that no matter what you will play? So it's a good thing that Gallagher or any other player will be keeping them at bay, right? So yeah,
Yep.
thank you, coach,
Compete with them and make them to be at their best.
for sharing the delicious stat of Gallagher.
Yeah, I know you like that. You're very proud, and I'm sure Bobby will be proud too. So let's give those in the chat the microphone. We'll come back soon to address the next item we'll have lined up. That stat is for losing teams. I've read that, but that's his game. You got to give him credit. Yep, all players are not the same. Players differ one way or the other. Roger is not a fan of who in particular. I want to hear you. Let's see. Get your suits dusted off, Jay-Z. You hear that, Jay-Z? That's Mitchy Boy telling you, dust that suit off. We want to see you on your blazers on the panel here whenever you're here. Don't do this to us next time. But we have an agreement. If Chelsea beat Arsenal, the next time you're appearing, you be on your blazers. And if Chelsea beat them too, I'll come on the show with blazers too. I have one too. So yeah, I'll go dust mine because I haven't worn it for like 1,000 years. My brother from the Medieval land to be, the coolest Charles. It's in the house. Hit the like button, people, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. You and Mitchy Boy, you both know what to do. Share the links to your respective YouTube channels so people can go check it out. I trust you guys, and if I don't, I won't be saying that. Nicolas Jackson saying London is blue. We need to show Arsenal flames. It's going to be again. I'm not sure what sort of game to expect, and that's because as much as I think we're making progress, I don't know. It hasn't gotten the progress. I'm saying hasn't gotten to an extent where I'd say this is how much I trust this team and be able to predict the outcome of a game. But let's see. Mikel Arteta has become more pragmatic this season than he was last season, and that's going to make it pretty difficult for our manager. But we move on from that. Let's see what else we have here. From Mitchell was saying you don't have to convince Gallagher haters. Just state your point. That's it. Wow, I like this. This is a station that is the delicious comment of the day. State your opinion. Every other person, you can say, watching the show right now or in the chat, they are all entitled to their respective opinions. State yours. We move on. You can't convince them. Or it's up to Gallagher to convince them with his performances. And I've seen a few converts actually. You can say I'm a convert too. As much as I don't slander him, I've never said he's a bad player. I've always said he has a lot to learn, and if any manager will help him become a better player, it is Mauricio Pochettino. But yeah, let's move on from that. Conor Gallagher and Mykhailo Mudryk will score tomorrow. Mark my words. I don't think Mudryk starts, unfortunately. And remember, I told you that the manager has a pretty good excuse to bench him. I'd be shocked if he starts, and that's because he traveled. Roger don't like Gusto. Oh yeah, I remember that. Roger don't like him, and Roger's point mainly with regards to his crosses, how awful he's been after one game where he garnered 2 assists. Subsequent games, he's been struggling in terms of crosses. But that's by the way, we move on. Gallagher is constantly on the chopping block. Let him breathe. Yeah, exactly. And let's stop talking about him. But here's the thing. Because of how many times do people slander him or question his ability as a footballer and all that. So that's why every time he does well, you see the numbers. People will take the numbers and run with it. That's just how, again, it's been. What's going on here? Okay, we'll move on from that one. What does this one say? Gallagher. Yep, I think I agree with you. I don't think our usual people here have said that they. Yeah, I haven't seen anybody say they hate Gallagher. You in particular, you just argue he's a bench player at best. Usual people here don't hate on Gallagher.
Just let me be clear so people do not get confused. I'm talking in general, like on Twitter and other accounts. In general, so there is and you know better than me, coach. There is a section. I won't say a large section, but there is still a section that would even it, right? So I'm not talking about you, Constantine.
No, he's not saying you're talking about him. He's just fighting for the community.
And as far as I appreciate the input. of Michibo. I really appreciate it. The way I was just requesting the fans is because I'm representing Chelsea over here. Officially or unofficially, I'm representing Chelsea. So I'm just my request. I'm not saying people should agree with me. No, I'm saying that let's give Conor Gallagher a chance. Just open your eyes with an open heart and mind, and just see him for a month. That's all I'm saying.
All right, let's see what else we have here. Usually we don't do that here. Hate is a strong word. I think I must agree. But Michibo, we don't like Michibo. He's trying to make us look bad here. Tobeho is in the house, and Omaru Sabunya is me. Omaru, tell me about James. We'll talk about him in a bit. And if I don't, ask me Omaru. But Omaru, welcome once more. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining here. I didn't know Roger was. I wouldn't say Roger hates Roger, and that reminds me actually, Roger, if you're watching, just know that I get it. I should have reached out to see how you're doing. I hope you're well. Maybe the evening shows aren't that suitable for you, but the morning shows are. But I'll still reach out to see how you're doing, and I should have done that before now. Roger doesn't hate. Always, again, whenever Roger argues about the ability of a player, he backs it up with numbers. He likes numbers. He backs it up with stats to show you to you can say, should I say fortify his argument or maybe justify his argument? Sorry, Dante. Yeah, Dante. Yes. So Dante is Gallagher hater. Let's just go with that one. Let's run with that one. In Gusto's defense, there was a blade of grass on the ball. We use words. Wrongly sometimes. I think I agree with you. So let's move on to the next item we have lined up. Yeah, I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show, which is let's see what else we have. All right, keep dropping the likes on the stream. I think we've looked at this one. The manager to the defense of Malo Gusto about how young he is. And the fact that he's still 19. And even though I knew he was that young before we signed him, sometimes I have to remind I have to remind myself, look, this kid is just 19. And for me, he hasn't actually put a foot wrong since he joined us. He's been excellent defensively, has 2 assists already. That's huge for a 19-year-old. But let's see what the manager does, whether he start Reece James over him or whether he'd still play Marco Correa on the right-hand side there because he didn't travel. And Gusto, didn't he travel? I think he had to travel. So Marco Correa may well start over him tomorrow, but let's see. These all chimeras, for he uses that word freely. You could say that maybe he uses it carelessly. Let's see. Wade say, I think that's Pigeon. Enzo has not impressed this season. I believe Gallagher has been performing better than him. Well, it depends on who you ask. For me, I don't think that's the case. But there's a chance you are correct. But I'm just going to say no to that. Enzo have been good. At games where you can say he struggles, the entire team struggled, in my opinion. I'm coming from Uganda. Omaru, welcome to Chelsea Perspective, my Ugandan brother. I hope you're doing well. Please be sure to subscribe to drop a like on the video. We have 20 likes already, but I believe we can do better than that. And Omaru, please, if you can, invite all Chelsea fans that you know. Let them know, that's a good YouTube channel where their voice matters. Their opinions matter. Can let them know that they will not regret it, and they will thank you later. I like how Dante just casually threw me under the bus. Yeah, that's true. And let's just say what comes to mind. It looks like throwing people under the bus is what the reigning thing these days. But it's good. Thank you, Omaru. I appreciate you. Both of them are good players. We have to agree to that. Let's move on to the next item. People keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. Once more, I want to appeal to those of you who are watching, but for one reason or the other, you're not able to participate in the chat. Just know that we appreciate you. And you watching alone does go a long way. But if you can do us one more favor, which is to take a second and drop a like on the stream, we really appreciate that. And subscribe if you haven't. And for those of you who are watching on Facebook and on Twitter, listen, we do a giveaway monthly for students. And if you emerge the winner, you get at least $50. We call it the Stay in School Project. And believe me, ask others. I think we've had how many winners? 5 winners in total. One winner suggested that yeah, he's donated the money to the community, so we kept that. That may well lead to the next winner winning quite a lot. But both are good players. I think I agree with you. Gusto doesn't look 19. He's very solid defensively. I agree with you. He's an excellent defender, quick. Just needs to add attacking to his game. I think he has that already. If you've watched him during the games he's played, he's made some good runs on occasions, but usually the guy with the ball doesn't. You can say the lack of chemistry is the reason why we haven't seen the best of him. He makes good runs, like passes the ball and makes runs, and he
So
makes runs down the right hand side. But usually the person he passes the ball to doesn't sense it that he wants that 1-2 move or give and go move, and they usually they pass the ball to the other side, or maybe sometimes when they try to found him, they usually overhit the ball, and he on occasions he wasn't able to get to them. Go ahead, Teresa, you wanted to say something.
no, I was just saying on a lighter note, the reason why Gusto doesn't look 19 is because he's 20. He's not 19.
You see, I don't understand. I'm sorry. What are you saying, Sherry Z?
Bro, I'm just saying that he's 20. He's not 19.
Is he 20 now?
Yes.
Even at that, he still looks young. I was thinking maybe you're gonna say he's 25. He's not really. That's just 1 year apart.
Bro, I have to be very discreet, right?
Oh,
I'm disappointed in Pochettino. He doesn't remember the age.
But his point, Pochettino's point, is that he's still very young.
Yeah, I know. I was just saying that he's 20. Yeah,
Oh,
I already said on a lighter note.
I not clean my glasses well. I spit my coffee on it. I wasn't sure what you were gonna say there. But that's by the way, we move on from that. Let me just remove it. But it protects my eyes from the screen. Yeah, you can say that. Dante is a ruthless. Chimera, I think he is. And we have Festus Muwezi. Mr. Festus, nice to see you. I'm from Uganda too. I would like to see Palmer behind Jackson in Mudryk in the left wing position, and Starling right wing, then Gallagher on the bench, then Conor Gallagher on the bench. Unfortunately, for you, Gallagher starts, and in the 10th position, it depends on the structure. If we play with 4-3-3, then we need 2 8s. And Gallagher starts, in my opinion. But Festus, welcome to Chelsea Perspective. And Festus, please make sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Mr. Festus, and do us a favor, do share the link to the live show to your friends. Let them know there's a YouTube channel where their opinion matters. Just like I'm reading yours now and trying to, you can say, present a sensible answer to what you've said there, or response to what you've said there. Please let them know. Share the link so that they can come join us. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. Sometimes a penguin needs to change its tuxedo. I want all the smokes. Wow. Let's see. The Agenda Twins and the Puppet Masters are the real perpetrators. You could say that, but I wish I understood what you're referencing. That's a Robert in him. Let's move on to the next item we have lined up, people. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. Benoit Batboy Badiashile, BBBR3B, has been involved in full training this week. Sources are close to the defender believe he's ready for tomorrow's game. Whether he's chosen in the match day squad is another question. I think the possibility of Benoit Badiashile getting the chance to play may well come down to how fit what's his name Axel Disasi is. Let's hear you, Jerizi. What do you think? His chances of seeing him. And by the way, is he a player you like? Go ahead.
Yes. Amazing talent. Really amazing talent. Very physical. Have great his all-round. I use the word all-round. Like as a defender, he has all the attributes. That's what I mean. So as far as the question that he'll start, again, this week has been very tough as I was doing the research. I'm sure everyone else. it's so difficult. Every other 2 days, there are so many conflicting news. And so far, even with the Pochettino's press conference, we are not even sure, right? He hasn't given so much away. He has just said, okay, this is a possibility. This player is fit, but we'll assess. So again, it's really difficult for the predictable lineup and who will play or not play, because we have the information that some of the players just returned. They are fit. How fit? I don't know. We don't know. No one knows, I believe, right? Yeah, again, it will come down to the fitness of Disasi, because I believe Poch said that they need to assess that. So, but I expect him to probably be in the team and on the bench if he's not starting. So, but the good news that the players are coming back, and yeah, so it's interesting. Reece James is back, so really excited for tomorrow.
Yeah, Benoit Badiashile is a player I like so much. His intelligence is something I like, and I know. I think you've known me by now. You should know me well enough to know the first thing I'm looking up for in a player is the player's footballing intelligence. I think he's a very intelligent player, good, excellent on the ball. I don't know how quick he is, but I can confidently say he's not the quickest, but I trust him because of his intelligence. And I think he's the only player we have within our ranks right now. It's him. It is Levi Cole, but I'd pick him out, select him over Levi Cole anytime, any day. He's the only player right now that has all it takes to take on that Thiago Silva's mantle to lead the back line, given his intelligence, given that he can also, even though he plays again in the center as a center back, he can actually dictate the pace of the game. He has excellent passing ability. I think let's see who makes way for him. And especially now that we don't have Champions League football, definitely one of the center backs will have to start. You could say warming the bench for him to get a chance to play. That will show us who the manager prefers the most. I think he's an excellent talent. Maybe if the manager decides when Thiago Silva isn't playing, he can start Benoit Badiashile and Axel Disasi, given that both have played together at Monaco. Yep. So we may well get to see that partnership again at Chelsea Football Club. Let's see. Big up to you too. And Festus are saying, and then Badiashile will believe. I cannot wait to see him to play 90 minutes. The guy is confident enough. He's an excellent player. Good on the ball, very intelligent. So I can't wait to see him either. But let's see what the manager does. I thought Poch said Badiashile will be on the bench at best. I can't quite remember what was said, but I think we'll still go through important, you could say, relevant insights or maybe comments from the manager's press, but we haven't gotten to that yet. So I hope to see him. He's a player I like so much, but let's see what happens. Excuse me. Let's move on to the next item we have lined up here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. 24 likes, but I think we should be doing better than that. And here we have this particular report here. Reports in Italy states that Victor Osimhen and his agent Roberto Calenda have not taken De Laurentiis, that is the Napoli president's comments, well amid the standoff over his contract. I think De Laurentiis is being a bit too, you could say, arrogant about it. Osimhen has just 2 years left on his contract after this season. He could just sit it out and just waste another year there. But it looks like he's not enjoying his football there anymore, especially under the manager. And I'm going to say this, I've said it before, at this point, everything that again, all things that have been said with regards to Chelsea's interest in Osimhen, to me at this point, are all just rumors. Jerry, I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
Yeah, I agree. I was about to say that. Of course, it's also great news for the journalists, right? This is something very hot with what happened with his issues, with Napoli and the fans, so and the players. Again, I won't dig too much into it. And again, if they are offended, it's also appropriate and makes sense in a way that 2 years are left, right? So. Again, the situation in Italy, the way the press, the management in Syria is very different, right? And they usually have, once there's a backlash or a fall, and there's some issues or confrontation, we always see that. So it's not new. So in a way, I can see both of the sides right. One is not good. The agent won't be happy. Again, the president have every right to say what they are saying because of the contract. So it will be interesting to see. But one thing maybe we can relate, or we can infer from this, is that the guy wants to go out, most probably. So will it be in
Mm.
January or in the summer? That's the only question. So let's see what happens. Again, we have already discussed before the permutation and combinations of him coming to Chelsea. It's not that easy. Many things will be taken into consideration. So only the time and our performance and the situation around November can give a better picture, in my opinion.
Yep, I do agree with you. Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to open up something I've seen here. I think I'd really like us to address once we're through with the items we have lined up already. That one, this one here. I think there's one more item I have to open, but we're not going to get to them immediately. Just give me a second there. Let's see. While I do that, please, if you're watching, if you haven't, drop a like on the stream and also do subscribe to the channel. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join us this afternoon, morning, or evening, whatever it is for you. Uh, yep, let's see this one here, and this one here. Okay, let's go with that one. So let's move on to the next item we have lined up here. With which one did we just talk about now? All right, this one here. Yep, we've talked about that. And the next item we have lined up, let's go for it. But let's give those in the chat the microphone before we move on. Nicolas Jackson, Coach, how many hours are you sleeping? 24 hours. Since we haven't done the Blue Morning Show, I sleep very well, better than I used to. When we streamed, I think that was the time I burned out. That if I want to spell your name, I'd spell it upside down. Yeah, but right now, the priority has thing. The priority mainly right now is to get my doctoral program done. YouTube is the reason why I'm not through with it till now. And at one point, I wanted to give up YouTube because not making anything from it. But because of the sacrifice I've made, I said, look, I have to continue. But yeah, I've slept well. A few days now that we haven't done the Blue Morning Show, but we did a morning show today on Soccer Perspective. They went, think how many views? Not up to 100 right now, actually. Chelsea fans were crying for Josko Vardiol when we signed Benoit Badiashile. Why we signed this bomb shows some respect for my boy. I told you about him. We did talk about him, and we did argue at the time that again, I was one of those saying at the time I was saying, in my opinion, he's a better player than what's his name than Vardiol. But because Vardiol went to World Cup, and people, you can say, watch them play against the likes of Lionel Messi and all the big name players. Probably didn't rate about Badiashile that much, and because we didn't pay that much money for him actually. But if you remember, Barcelona wanted him. There were other clubs that wanted him, but he wanted to come to Chelsea, and I'm glad we signed him. I think he's a better player than Vardiol, in my opinion. Big up to you too, JC. I hope you're doing well. Always nice to see you. Let's see anything else to address here. People having good conversations in the chat. Dante, you seen it. He doesn't like you, so just I shouldn't read that one, but I decided to read it anyway. Let's see. Philip Mitchell, you don't like him either. So yeah, exactly. That's a better way to say it. Let's see. Surely, I will also sleep well after this match. Yeah. Again, whether you sleep well or not comes down to the outcome. But you're sounding as if you're confident we're gonna beat them. If we beat them, I'll take it.
But coach, we not gonna lie. Like if Chelsea will win, I don't think so. I will sleep because the adrenaline, the excitement will be too much for me to sleep. I'll be awake, enjoying the moment, partying. Looking all the reviews, making my own notes. So for me, the person like me will get even more, excited, awake after the win. You can see in my voice, right? Really excited. But not gonna lie, it's a very, very close game. Anything can happen.
Mm-hmm. And just quickly, Festus, if you're watching, do not use more than one emoji. Otherwise, Nightbot would delete your message. Nightbot is a machine. It's not a human being. So don't know exactly. So, and I'm not too familiar with the software or the machine to set it to be a bit more lenient than it is right now. So apologies that it deleted your message. but I'll still see your subsequent messages. Hopefully, it doesn't time you out. This says people just saying hello to each other, and Chimera is saying, assuming we get Osimhen in January, what happens to Datro and Broya in the new season? Here's the thing: the club will always go for players they feel like. We'll go for players that feel like again, the best players. They will always go for the best players, and if that means letting certain players go, they would do that. That's what big clubs do. You don't again. If they let's assume now, even though Jackson is doing well, even though Broya starts scoring goals, but if they feel like that, if we sign Osimhen or any other, maybe Benjamin Sesko, any other attacker that comes to mind, that would do even better, they will go for him. It's as simple as that, especially if manager proves that he's the man for the job. If he speaks, he will listen. If he tells them, I need the other player and this guy, he's done well, but I think we can do better than him, they'll go for the new player. It's as simple as that. So Datro Fofana, I think his case is complicated right now. He's struggling at Union Berlin. We did address a comment from the Union Berlin president the other day. He's you can say, should I say, he's suffering from a goal drought right now. Plus, the Union Berlin president wasn't specific. He said he's also had some personal issues that they're gonna help. They will help try to help him get through it. But yeah, nothing new there. Keep dropping the likes and on the stream, people. The likes will go a long way. We can sleep. Yeah, I get that. If Blue Co buy Sporting, also all these players will get we get teams. Yeah, it'd be easy to ship players out. I think that's a very correct statement there. Mitchy boy, let's see what else we have here. Yep, Chimera, the new avatar. Yeah, I didn't pay attention. It looks more like Christ. Should I say that, or maybe he just changed it to something else? I like look at this. You look at this statement there. Saddam's replacement. So let's move on to the next item. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. We don't have we go again. We go through. Let's go through. What's it called? The manager's presser. Once we're done with that, then we go through what we did on the other channel on Soccer Perspective. Arsenal, Chelsea combined 11. Let's see if you all will agree with that. But first, for 3 items here that I want us to address, and I'll come back to this one and go through Blue Dodgers page and address some of the comments from the managers presser. This here is saying Bayern Munich are unlikely to move for Trevoh Chalobah in January. The club's bosses had already decided against signing the player in the summer window, although Chelsea were willing to let him go on loan. Thomas Tuchel would still like to sign the player and is still pushing for him to join. I'm confused here. What I recall happened during that summer transfer window was that Bayern wanted him on loan and we wanted to sell him outright, and they didn't want that. So that, for me, at the time was a sign that they didn't really trust him. Or maybe Thomas Tuchel was trying to convince them that he's a good player. And they say, okay, if you think that's the case, let's get him on loan first. And if he does well, then we'll sign him on a permanent. And that didn't happen. So I'm not too sure. This just doesn't make sense to me. That, it just say, if you say unlikely to move for, then I agree, because during the summer, they weren't that serious. If they were serious, they would have just paid us around 35 to 40 million that we were asking at the time and take him on a permanent, but they didn't. And that's because they wanted him on loan, because they didn't trust him. I don't know, Terry, do you have anything to add to that, or should we move on?
No, you just nailed it. You're right with the information you shared about the summer. So it could be also a possibility that the reports that are coming and what this statement says.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was like,
No, you can say, because if I don't have my stress ball in my head,
it's perfect. I was looking at my AI, maybe, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, it could be the possibility that this narrative is true. This could be a thing, that the narrative we had in the summer might not be the one that was correct. But in any situation, it's good. Like if we can get it done, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what Bayern were thinking at that time. because it doesn't matter anymore, right? In the summer.
It
So
doesn't matter. One thing is
yeah,
sure, he leaves in January, as we've been
yeah,
told.
yep. So again, I know, like for him, Madsen signed an extension. Or sorry, they had the. I think they triggered the
Automatic
extension, right?
extension, not
Yeah,
automatic. The club had the option to extend his.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
They triggered it. Yeah. So of course some players have to leave, right? Because still the squad, with what Pochettino wants is still like maybe 3 to 5 players more, and if we'll have some incomings in January, so of course we can't make everyone happy, right? And of course if Pochettino and the sporting directors are working together, then I'm sure they'll do the best. They'll see
Mhm.
which player is will stay, and of course at the end of the day it's not what everyone wants, right? Sometimes you have to take some hard decisions. Either it's financial, either it's players personal choice, or sometimes you're just not fitting in because of the choices. So yeah, let's see what happens. But now I'm more optimistic with the way the direction of the board, with Pochettino, and let's see if as long as they're working together, I think it will be good.
All right, thank you so much for that. Saddam's replacements, he says, and here we have Saddam gone for good. Probably will bring him back. It's a line and says temporarily he's taking him off. Looks like an evil, Jesus maybe. Let's see. Chalobah was the last player I thought would leave. You cannot be this scared of a little competition. He will want the bench and Bayern. They don't want him right now, unfortunately. And I think my theory, I think I'll stick with my theory that yeah, Bayern didn't really want him. Maybe Tuchel was trying to convince the Bayern hierarchy that he's a good player, and they said, okay, if that's the case, let's get him on loan. If he does well, then we keep him. But Chelsea at the time wanted to sell him on a permanent. And we have the names. I think Chimera has was the one that mentioned the name Roger. Chimera, and also Chelsea Michi Boy. Yeah, they were gossiping about Roger. I said nothing. Just to be clear, I did not say anything. I was only listening. So, so, so Roger is in the house. Hopefully, we'll hear that he's just been busy. Hopefully, it's not has nothing to do with his health. And apologies that I haven't reached out. Yeah, times you can say my own schedule have been crazy also, but apologies at the same time. But Roger, welcome to the panel. More importantly, I hope you've been good.
Thank you. How are you, sir?
I can't complain, brother. I can't complain. Um, yeah, let's start you with this one in particular. We'll still go back. I think maybe there are, I believe, a few items you might like to speak about. Most definitely, I'll have you look at numbers that I think was it Squeaker report showed, which reflects how well Chalobah has been doing since the start of not Chalobah. Conor Gallagher has been doing since the start of the season. But Roger, let's hear you. What do you make of Chalobah's situation?
Yeah, he's stuck between a rock and a hard place, isn't he? He's not really wanted, it seems, and I think he's come to the realization that he'll probably need to move on, and he's got a comfort zone, with his former boss. So, familiarity. So I can understand what's going on. Listen, this sounds really horrible, but he's pure profit, isn't he? I really would have liked to have seen him succeed, but with the signing of Disasi, for instance, that was the final nail in the coffin, I believe.
For him, right?
Even though we have yeah, I believe so. That right back, sorry, that right centre back position. It's just he falls too far down the depth chart for whatever reasons. Even though he's versatile and he did quite well playing at right back, but he's fourth string there now for all intents and purposes. So
yeah.
But listen, we have to come to the realization this is a business.
First of all,
yeah.
Let me hear your thoughts on. Let me hear your thoughts on my theory. There's probably a reason why the club have decided, from what we're hearing, that no matter what happens, he leaves in January. Even some has gone to the extent of suggesting that he's been banished from the team. But I don't think that's the case. He's been out with injury, and Mauricio Pochettino himself has said that's not the case. He's still in his plans. Do you think it was because he pushed for that move to Bayern that resulted in the club deciding, okay, he wants to leave, we just sell him? Because I think you could say, I still don't, even though how you could argue how Potter treated him post World Cup, pre World Cup, he was one of our best defenders. But I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
Some are saying was because he was leaking the lineup to the press. I don't know, but I don't believe that one bit. But my question is, do you think the club is now bent on selling him because he pushed to join Madrid? And the only reason why we didn't sell him at the time was that Bayern wanted him on loan and we wanted to sell him outright. But let's see, do you think that's the case? Because it looks like there's a pattern now with these new owners. If they sense it, any measure of intent of you wanting to leave, they sell the player without looking back. But let's hear you.
Yeah, no, I think there's some truth to that. In addition to the fact that they've been burnt before, they've lost 2 centre backs in the last 18 months for free, 2 starting centre backs. So that's why they, regardless of the position, that they believe that, because they look at him as pure dollar signs. Don't forget, he's a commodity, just like every other player is. So why let him go on a free? If he doesn't want to be here, let's move him on. Don't forget, we're not exactly, fiscally speaking, we're not exactly swimming in it, are we? So our outlays have been huge. Let's be honest, the last 3 transfer windows. So I think that this fits all the criteria, ticks all the boxes. That, you know what, he's very far down the depth chart, so to speak, and fiscally speaking, it behooves us to sell him.
Yeah, his injury hasn't helped, so he's
I know Bobby's mentioned that in the past, and it's true. I get it. He's had a lot of niggles, some nicks, and so forth, and he's never been able to consistently be available. It's very early in his career. Let's not discard that. I mean, he's a young chap still, but yeah, it just wasn't meant to be, was it? It's sad because I really liked him. I really did. But
I like him, and I'm sure you've heard me say I'd pick him over some of. I'm not going to name names just to avoid argument. Some of the defenders we have right now, but I'll let you drop. Give those in the chat the microphone, then I'll come. Bobby has joined us probably because he heard your voice. I didn't expect him today.
Roberto. No, I've dropped. I wish him all the best, and you love to see these common chaps come through the academy and excel.
Yeah.
And I wish him nothing but the best, but it wasn't meant to be, was it?
Yeah, it just wasn't before. Yeah, it wasn't meant to be for a multitude of reasons. And I, by the way, learned to use the term for a multitude of reasons from you. I hope I'm saying it correctly. Okay. Chalobah, he will warm the bench at Bayern. I'm not. Tuchel likes him, and what's his name? Upamecano have been error. It looks like like he averages at least 2 mistakes per game. His magic, Mauricio Pochettino, his magic, that is you just trying to wind up Jay-Z. Roger Donkey, awesome to hear you, buddy. Yeah, it's a sign that he's doing well. Again, but Roger, all jokes aside, I hope you're well, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Chalobah can leave, and we balance books well because we have enough centre backs that don't fear those small competitions. If that's the case, I just don't know why we let what's his name Humphreys leave on loan. He looked the real deal during the preseason, but the manager understands better. Roger, just Dante saying hello to you. Big up, Roger. Chimera also. Look, I'm getting jealous. How many of you said hello to me like this? Big up, Roger. Come out from your hiding, a spot and answer for your crimes against. Wow, that's a serious one.
I'm feeling the love.
Yeah, exactly. And again, Mitchell Boy completes it with hi, bro. Let's see what else we have here. And we needed to beat Arsenal. The fans are disrespecting us. Yep, pride is at stake. That's how I see it. Roger Dodger. Injury prone. is the term you're looking for. Roger, he's helping you. Chelsea must win. Going to be a tough game. Yeah, will never be an easy game. I've said this before. Once it's Arsenal, even if we've won 999 games out of 1,000 games, if they are the 1,000th team that we'll play against, it's usually you can say we seem to falter, and vice versa. Humphreys is a fantastic Cobham graduate, and I think he takes that spot of Chalobah, to be honest. After the season, when he comes back on loan, we don't know how Fofana will come back. He's come back from a long-time injury before and didn't look like he was out, but then again, didn't play that much and got injured again. Hopefully, he comes back and stays fit. I want Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo to cook rice, Partey and Odegaard. Have we seen three of them start together? Yeah, they have. But let's see what happens. Aja, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Good evening, everyone in the channel. Good evening to you too. Really cheered me up hearing you, Roger. Wow, that's really nice of you to say that, Mitchell boy. But he makes me jealous at the same time. But I'm not going to cry.
Well, Mitchy.
We don't like you, coach. As if I knew you were going to say that. As if I knew you were going to say that, but I will survive it. Collins and Achua says, I will be having a great weekend if Chelsea win against Arsenal. I've seen a few people say they get to sleep well if we beat them. But let's see. Good luck to all of us if that's what it would take for us to sleep well and have a good weekend. Should fans boo Havertz if it affects his performance? I'd say no. And here's the thing. Let me say this quickly. If Havertz play, chances are that 90%, so again, 90% is this, again, if out of 100, 90% is that you see a different Havertz.
Yeah.
A more motivated Havertz, in my opinion. But that's just me. Let's hear you, Bobby. I appreciate you finding the time to join. I'm guessing you had to join because you heard your brother's voice, or gang member's voice. But Bobby, I hope also you're doing well. Always nice to see you. The last time we spoke, you told us everything is going well. You had a relapse, you said. Was that maybe I'm using the wrong language here. You let me know. But nice to see you, brother. What do you make of Trevoh Chalobah's situation? It looks like most definitely it's goodbye in January. But let's hear you.
Yeah, big up, guys. Roger,
Big up
it's
to you
always
too.
a pleasure. I don't know where
My
you've
pleasure,
been.
sir.
Don't know where you've been, but it's always good to be on the panel with you. And yeah, you're quite right, Coach. But hopefully, I'm on track now.
Good to hear it, Bobby.
Now, it's unfortunate with Trevoh, but Trevoh is one of those players that it's not likely if you're very busy. Well, if you're a top flight club that has a horrendous schedule, it's not likely he's going to be there for the season for you. He does suffer more injuries than people tend to realize. And he's shown that in all his time in the first team at Chelsea, in that Trevoh has never been prevented from having a run in the side. It's just his injuries that have caused it. And whenever the opportunity has opened the door and left him for a run, he's been injured. So I guess it's quite unfortunate. Another reality is that I don't know why he's clamoring so much for Bayern Munich, because he will be on the bench there. He's not going to play any more for Bayern Munich than he did for Chelsea. One, because of
Maybe
his injury.
Berlisco will be starting him. And the Upamecano have been awful. But go ahead.
Well, they're going to rotate them, and his injuries. People forget. I've watched Trevoh a lot, and when Trevoh is nursing an injury or coming back from an injury, he's not really that great. It's only when he's fully fit that the true Trevoh Chalobah comes out. He is a good player, but he's unfortunately expendable, dare I say it, simply because of that injury reliability. And we've got more than enough in the team of that. Chilwell, James, all this is more than enough. These are players that are going to have to be managed. We can't start managing. We're already managing a defender as it is in Fofana. I don't expect him to be able to give a full season. He never has. So, why change the habit of a lifetime? He's not, he's man. So carrying two of them like that is just not practical. And with the club's financial targets as well, I think he's one of those that when he goes obviously with our blessing, but I don't see him. I think he would have stood a better chance of being called in if he had gone to Forest than to Bayern. Okay, perhaps they'll play him because it's not as difficult a league, and perhaps it will be better for his fitness because you don't have so many blood and thunder games. And I think Bayern helped elongate Ian Robbins' career because he was getting butchered in the Premier League. But when he went to Bayern, they're physical, but they have a different type of physicality, which is not as inhibitory to a player's performance. Another thing I have to say, somebody mentioned Bashir Humphreys. Bashir had to go on loan. He did. He needed to go somewhere where he could stretch his legs, develop his game. And there's one aspect of football that people tend to ignore: making your name. Football is as political an environment as any other workplace. And if you're not noticed, you don't get picked. It's as simple as that. In a way, that's why Levi Colwell kicked off so much, because he was seeking attention to his skills. He's got the skills, then you've got to have the attention. In football, if you're not noticed, you don't get anywhere. So Bashir, he's flown under the radar a long time. He's still a very young guy. He's 18, he's not yet 19. But this is the time now he starts to seek that recognition. And to be brutally honest, there's so many more developed players ahead of him at Chelsea that we need to keep him on the books, but just let him get out there and start making waves and showing us why he needs to come back like some of the others have done.
Thank you so much, Bobby. Let's give those in the chat the microphone. I'll come back to the panel again. If he comes to prove a point and he's shown to be just 1 second affected by the banter lately, I say a stadium should make noise spottily. If fans can boo our own Chilwell, why not have that for the game? Here's the thing: if they feel like there are some players, you boo them whatever you like, it doesn't affect their performance. If they feel like that's what it takes to get him to underperform, if he starts tomorrow, fine. But I doubt he starts. Havertz secured us a UEFA Champions League and 65 million from Arsenal. That's a bigger contribution to the club than most players. Booing him will be childish. I wouldn't condone such, but let's see what they do. I think still some section of the fan base will boo him. Match-going fans. Havertz for sure will be booed. We don't know. We'll find out tomorrow. What if we inspire to play? If we inspire him to play better, yeah, I think so too. Yeah, and you can say, yeah, the reason for booing him will not have the opposite effect. Stadium booed our captain Chilwell. Why have the mercy on Havertz? It's a game. We can we can sign him for after the game. Okay, we can sing him praises after the game. Will Kai shoot the fans again? I don't know. Let's find out. Even Lampard was booed for City, was he? I don't recall that. Big up to you too. Let's see. Chelsea must train hard tomorrow for tomorrow's game to win a game. Create a lot of crosses and on target and all that. That's a bit mixed up. I'm sorry, I couldn't quite get what you're saying there. I think we have the capacity to sting Arsenal. I agree. Snatch all 3 points instead of settling for a draw. I don't trust Starling or a stuntman, but a Poch is a miracle man. I would trust this lineup.
So one thing I can assure you, everyone, and we can always look back. I don't know what the result will be, but we won't play for the draw. We will play for a win, definitely.
I hope so. Hello, Halo might get the chance before he leaves. Chalo, you mean? Yeah, there's a chance that, again, the manager have said that he's in his plans. And we have the coolest Charles here. He shared the link to his YouTube channel. Can you put them together? You're getting me highlight two things one after the other. You can actually start with the sentence below it. But go check out my brother's YouTube channel, my brother from the Madiba land. Do subscribe. Let's help him reach 1,000 as soon as possible. He deserves that. And he released a video with Jerry Z. Interesting video. Jerry Z telling you why you should trust Mauricio Pochettino and the process. And Trevoh, find time to share the link so people can go check it out. Please, when you're free, check out the video. Did you share the link to that particular video? What's it saying? Did you really? Okay, if that's a video, go check it out. An interesting video, and I think the video has picked up. Hopefully, people are watching it all through. It's a lengthy video, but it doesn't matter because you'll be engaged. If you're really listening, you'll be engaged until you finish it. The beautiful game. I appreciate you joining. Havertz should be pelted with a rotten fruit, preferably still in the teens. Wow. Big up coach,
Wow.
chairman Bobby, and the chairman of the Goalkeepers Union, Roger, is in the house too. Chalo may get the chance before he leaves. I believe that. Who is Kai Havertz? I don't know. Somebody in the chat should help you figure out who he is. Anything else? N'Golo Dante is also in the house. I said hello to him. All right, we'll move on to the next item. And this one here is saying that Chelsea are one of the clubs informed on the situation of Victor Osimhen, and the intention remains to sign a new striker in 2024. Do I think we go for him? I don't think so. I think he'll be available, for a premium. Most definitely for a premium and not for cheap. And De Laurentiis, we addressed his comments a few days ago, 3 days ago maybe, where he said that they have an agreement in place, a verbal agreement in place with Victor Osimhen, but he hasn't signed. But if he changes his mind, that's fine by them. They're a bit arrogant about it. And then he went on to say, look how much he sold Koulibaly, even though he had just a year left on his contract. I'm going to say this again. I'm not going to get into the argument whether he's the sort of striker that I think would do well under Pochettino. My argument right now is that us going for a striker, especially one that will cost us premium, depends on how well Jackson, Broya, and what's his name, Christopher Nkunku does by the time we get to January, in my opinion. But let's hear you, Bobby, if you're still there. Let's hear you. What do you think?
Sorry, coach. So think about. Sorry, I was distracted.
I'm just saying, Fabrizio Romano is reporting that we've been informed on the situation of Victor Osimhen, that he has just 2 years left on his contract, and that chances are he leaves Napoli in January. And De Laurentiis, that is the Napoli president, he didn't sound optimistic the last time he talked about Osimhen's situation. He mentioned the fact that they have a verbal agreement in place with him, but he's refused to put pen to paper for a new contract. And he has just about 2 years left on his contract. And if he leaves, that's fine by them. But he then went on to say, remember, Koulibaly had just a year left on his contract, but look how much we sold him. That's to me saying we're not going to sell him for cheap. But let's hear you.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much smoke around this Osimhen Chelsea story that it's become a fire, hasn't it, now? It's become a bit of a raging, it's not quite an inferno, but it certainly is a large bonfire. I don't know. He seems to be very much the kind of profile of player Chelsea would go for, regardless, and the price tag, well, I think we've shown, regardless of FFP or anything, we find a way if we want a player. I always told fans from the beginning when these new owners came that they can compete with the best. Money isn't the issue. They're not frightened to spend big on a player if they have to, and they've shown us that. But they're also very careful. They're trying to play within the rules. They're trying to budget. They're trying to keep the wage bill down. They're trying to do the right things, and they will succeed. So his price tag, I think, is not really what I'm looking at. because if the club really wants him, there's enough players that they potentially can sell to make room to make this happen. Mine is it the player for us? With Ivan Toney, clucking around. I know Ivan Toney is an older type of player, but Ivan Toney looks to me like a player that can go on into his early 30s. I don't know why. I just get that feeling, and probably get better with it because he's older, more experienced, and so on. As I say, I don't know why. I just have that feeling that he'll be at the top till he's about 32 at least.
Yeah.
But having said that, age doesn't lie, and Osimhen has a lot in terms of his age profile that fits with Chelsea, that gives him mileage. Also, he's prone to an injury or two, which gets him to fit right in. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I just think there's too much. There are too many whispers around this one to make it seem unrealistic, and it seems very, very realistic indeed. Speaking of injuries, yet again, I have to harness the point I keep making that for the past 5 years, in fact, not since the Europa Cup final, have Chelsea played Arsenal with a full deck of key players. Yet they always have their key players. They've even nursed Saka back for us, and they are fully, they don't have major players out. If they have key players out, maybe it's one, at most two. But we seem to have an itinerary of key players out. And even when they're back, they're not really fully fit. The likes of Reece James, and that he can only give us a few minutes. So I don't know what to make of this game. It will be quite telling in terms of our progress if we turn them over. And we're capable of it, but we've not met them toe to toe yet. It's been a long time. And whenever we do, we tend to beat them comprehensively. So they've been quite lucky at the moment.
All right, thank you. We'll still preview that match tomorrow, 3 a.m. PST. But I want to go to Roger. I don't know, Roger, whether he has anything to say with this particular topic. Or let's just hear you, Roger, whether you'd rather Osimhen or Toney. But let me give those in the chat the microphone so we don't have too much by the time I come back. And the Bluetooth game saying I tried to listen quietly in the background when it comes to some good old-fashioned Havertz slander. I just couldn't resist. Wow. I was told that Chelsea are working behind the scenes to sign Victor Osimhen in next summer. You trust your source? Okay, let's see if that's the case. Because I'm saying Chelsea going for a striker in January. It depends, comes down to how well Nkunku, Broya, and Jackson, how well they all do. And I'm saying this also, we have Jackson, Senegalese international, will be leaving every AFCON. Osimhen, the same thing, Nigerian international. I've said this, I don't see this club. I don't see Chelsea paying premium for Osimhen, and then every time AFCON comes around, Osimhen and Jackson will both leave for AFCON. To me, Roger, bear that in mind when I come to you. Indeed. Let's see what else we have here. Should we sell Levi Colwell? I don't think this club will sell him. No, absolutely not. Coach, when are we doing the CFC lineup? It's tomorrow during the Blue Morning Show. Every day, again, all the prediction shows will always be the times for the Blue Morning Show until we get another. A host co-host that'll be capable of hosting the Blue Morning Show independently without me getting involved. That'll be all right. Would love to give input on that. But why are we doing combined lineup? We did it on the other channel. I cannot imagine Arsenal players are anywhere near our team. If you're not being objective right now, I think a lot of their players will get into the team, in my opinion. Havertz excites us more than any of the Arsenal fans. You could say that. Big up, Coach. Big up to you too, Glenn Town. Much love to you, brother. Panel and the usual suspects in the chat. I love you. I love you too, brother. I hope you're dealing with your own situation well. Should we sell Matson? Matson, most likely, I think the club may well sell him, but we don't know yet. His situation may well change, and we'll hear that he's put pen to paper for a long-term contract. Let's see. Osimhen injured for 40 days. I read muscle injury, and Bobby will now come back to the fact that he said the other day he said that's injury prone. I don't think so. He doesn't stay away for long. When are we playing Manchester United? Imagine Mount coming to the bridge tomorrow. It's a dress rehearsal for that particular game. I agree with you. Glenton, much love to you, brother. Let's resign Michy Batshuayi. Nope. Even though I liked him at the time, I wasn't able to figure out why managers don't play him, because he's actually fine finisher on his stay. He's 30, bro. Batsman already is a grandpa for our team. Yeah, you could say that. I think you could say that 25 is the cutoff. Hoping Agent Kai and a fellow and Frello, Jorginho Frello, are present. We planted these seeds carefully. Time to reap the rewards. Here's the thing: in terms of that, you could argue that actually Arsenal signings from Chelsea in recent years haven't actually done well for them. From David Luiz to Willian and Havertz so far, and Jorginho so far, it's been high-profile mistake after the other, leading to them drawing a game or losing a game. I hope that continues. As much as I love them both, but we're talking about them playing against my club. For that, but Roger, let's come to you. Wherever if you want to talk about whether you think would sign him, or if you want to just go back, whether you prefer him or Ivan Toney. And there's something else I mentioned. I said I wanted you to address when you speak.
Yeah. So
hopefully, go ahead.
Yes. So I think the last person that was any good for them from Chelsea to Arsenal was Pedicek, obviously a world-class keeper.
Yeah, he changed a lot for them.
Yeah. Other than that, you're right. I can't think of a good player that we've sold to them and that has excelled, shall we say. And listen, Coach, I'm really glad you're sitting down, because you're going to faint, because I pretty much agree with everything Bobby said as usual. It's pretty much shocking. Exactly. No, it's valid what Bobby's saying. All joking aside, it really is. The one thing, and you do bring up a good point about the AFCON players,
Did I make a good point?
It's debatable, Coach. It's too early for my return to contemplate that. But yeah, no, see, all joking aside, it is. It should be taken into consideration. I don't think it will be a determining factor. To be honest with you, Osimhen.
You don't think it will be a determining factor?
I think it will come into the equation, part of the equation, but I don't think it will be the end-all, be-all for determining whether we sign him or not, in my opinion. But they should take it into consideration as part of the equation. However, I think the number one the determining aspect of whether we sign a player like Osimhen or not is what we do between now and the transfer window. Ergo, does Nkunku, does Broja, does Jackson, do they start becoming clinical? And clinical to the point where it's borderline prolific? Because if we're not, and we're still languishing where we are because of the fact that we are not executing our opportunities, then I think we're left no option but to go and look for a player. Because as Bobby has so eloquently put many times before, our owners are willing and have shown us time and time again that they're willing to go deep into pockets, and not at the detriment of us financially, by the way. They're very astute and have been and will continue to be. So we've been blessed to have two consecutive owners that, I mean, most clubs...
Not afraid to spend. But it's the new owners more, especially, I think we've said this before, they probably have people crunching the numbers and letting them... how the extent they can go and not get into trouble. But go ahead.
And to be honest with you, they've implemented and instituted a backroom staff that I've always wanted for Chelsea. So I'm very happy where we are, ownership wise and back office wise. I really am. So, and they've created an identity, of how to identify players, that will fit into a profile, and so that's important. Listen, who do I want? Bobby's right that when you look at Tony, he is older. He doesn't fit the profile per se, but he is a league-proven player, and he's prolific, and he's an excellent penalty taker. You're thinking, well, we have some of those already, but true. But this guy just doesn't miss for the most part. He's money, and he's amazing. He can score with both feet, with his noggin. He ticks a lot of boxes. Now, and I agree with you, he does come with some baggage and some heavy baggage. I get that off the field wise. And that should be taken into consideration. Would I take him over Osimhen? Probably, because of the fact he's league proven. Other than that, it's hard to say. I mean,
let me bring you back to something Bobby said a while ago. When we talked about, let me hear what you have to say about it. Sorry for cutting you off. We talked about the gambling habit, and I did argue at the time, there's no way to tell whether he's overcome that, whether he's actually even if he's undergoing treatment right now, whether he's overcome that. And Bobby did mention, Bobby, correct me if I'm misquoting you, that given his age, he's more likely, more vulnerable to gambling again, because his priority would be to have secure his future, to have, you say, security again for his future. What do you make of that? Is that still a concern, or let's hear you.
Yeah, to a certain extent, yes, but what is the most important criteria for signing someone? Is their ability on the field, as long as their off field doesn't negate that, obviously, with lifetime bans or whatever, or annual bans. So I get what you're saying. I think they will do a deep dive. They have staff that will obviously be determining how he's doing well in programs that he probably has to go to in order to return to the Premier League, etc. So, and they'll probably interview him and interview with his consent other people that he's been going to, shall we say, rehab for, etc. I think they'll do their due diligence. There's no doubt about it, because that is a gamble, no pun intended. But let's hope it doesn't come to that. Let's hope that we begin to be prolific in our own way with the players that we have. Will that come to fruition? It's hard to say. We need to stay healthy first, period. And until we can do that on a consistent basis, I fear that we will end up splashing the cash.
I don't know, Jerry. Jude, you have anything to add to that? For you, Jude, nice to see you. I appreciate you finding the time to join. Ivan Toney, or I know you and I were the first to talk about the fact that he's African, and what's his name, and Jackson is African also, and that when I argued, I don't see the club risking having two top strikers that they get to lose every now and then for African competition for a whole month. But let's hear you. For you, is it Osimhen or Toney, whichever of the two players you choose? Let us know why.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone.
Greetings, brother.
To hear you back again, Roger. For now, I think I want to go by Osimhen, because, like I said earlier on, we have a lot of people interested in Toney, and at the end of the Liverpool and Arsenal is one in forefront of it, and they look more attractive than us. So Osimhen might be the one. I'm considering who is going to be who is more reasonable for us to be able to get. And from everything going on, from what the Napoli boss just said recently, that if they would move on if he has to leave. and that Koulibaly was sold to us when he had only 1 year left. So I still will want to go by Victor Osimhen. He's also younger. That's one. We would have him for a longer time. The thing is, if Toney doesn't really want to come to us, I don't want us to force ourselves on him because this is a guy that when he was in Bournemouth, he used to talk down on Bournemouth. He used to talk about the fact that he used to ridicule his team. So if he still had an ambition to go elsewhere, I wouldn't want him to just come to us because we are the only one available for him or we're able to give him the highest money or something. So, but if everything was okay, I would have preferred Toney because of his Premier League experience. But with the situation of things now, I'll go by Osimhen. And then considering the fact that okay, yeah, AFCON will come, Osimhen
Sorry,
and Jack, Osimhen
may
and
I
Jackson.
clarify something about Tony? Because
Okay.
there's this misconception going around about him. And I listened, quite carefully to his interview when he did talk about Arsenal clearly and he spoke about Liverpool. Now, he said he's a Liverpool fan, and I don't know why people are associating him more to Arsenal than Liverpool, although maybe there's the money. All he said was that he likes the way Arsenal play, but that he's open to a big club who would show interest in him. Now, you and I both know that if it comes to competing financially for a player, apart from the wages, this is what Chelsea won't do. But if it comes to the actual purchase price, I don't think Arsenal can go toe to toe with Chelsea. But if it comes to the wages, then we won't want to do that. But then Osimhen will come with some big wages as well. So I don't think um, Tony is as interested in Arsenal as a lot of fans are trying to say he is. I think anybody else with a good project and a serious approach to him could very easily get him away from Arsenal. I don't think it's that deep. The one team he did say he's a fan of is Liverpool, and even he's not that deep with them either. He's a fan of his own career. That's Ivan Toney.
I like that part. Go ahead, Jude, and thank you for allowing Bobby speak.
Okay, then I also want to add that
Yeah, thank you.
even if
I'm
oh
sorry to
yeah,
interrupt.
no problem. Even
And
if
and by
Arsenal
the
wants
way, Roger, he always asks after you whenever he comes onto the panel.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
yeah, my pleasure. So even if Arsenal wants him, our performance between now and January will also determine if Tony will want to join us or not. Because if we are doing really well, he might even want to damn Arsenal, even if Arsenal wants him and they have good offer for him. And remember now that Arsenal's son's owner is now the one dealing with the transfer directly. Usmanov's owner is Usmanov's son. So the guy is willing to spend more than his father back in the day. He's the one in charge now. He's changing things. So he too might want to approach him in a different way. But then I think if we do well between now and January, we'll make ourselves very attractive to him. He might prefer us. But like Bobby said, that Osimhen might come with a lot of baggage. I think Osimhen can still get. I feel it's easier for us to persuade him with a wage that is not top of the roof than to
And
persuade.
Jude, you're sure you're not being biased here? You're not sure not trying to sell your countryman to us?
No, not at all. Initially, I didn't even want him to come to Chelsea because I felt, oh, we've been ruining strikers' career. Let's not do the same to
Mm-hmm.
Victor. Yeah, but with the way things are now, it seems when you talk about top strikers in the market, it's just Tone and Osimhen. So, but like I said, I would prefer Tone if if he's ready to come and join us. But I still think it's easier for Osimhen to decide that okay, I want to go to Chelsea than for Tone to. Exactly with the way because I am aware that Arsenal is in deep talk with him. Chelsea started the talk, but it's like Arsenal is also going deep with it. And when I hear Arsenal fans always say, "Oh, why do Chelsea like controversial players?" Now I ask them, "Why are you guys going for Tone?" After all, he has his own scandal. They'll be like, "Oh, he deserves a second chance That's like, okay. So the ones that we've had before don't deserve a second chance, right? So I think Osimhen is more likely to be within our grasp than Tone, from my own perspective, my opinion for now.
And
But if
more
it
importantly,
takes,
his weight, is still within the age bracket that the new owners prefer.
yeah, yeah, and then his wage wouldn't really be top of the roof. I'm very sure of that because Osimhen is not earning too much in Napoli. I'm sure he's below 200,000. I can't remember the exact figure. So even if he's coming and want to put him on 200,000, I think he will still grab it because the Saudi thing is not really attractive to him. He feels that he's too young to go to Saudi.
And can always
So
go
I
there in
don't,
the future.
yeah, in the future. But if you talk about AFCON, remember there was a time we have Solomon Kalou and Drogba, and they always go to AFCON together. So I think that if we are able to work hard when these guys are together and they give us good results, I don't think that will make it.
Here's why I don't think it's okay to compare the situation at the time when we had Drogba. We even had Mikel too, who's African. He was not a striker, but African, right?
Yeah,
He had ASEAN also. Here's the thing, but we had the strongest squad at the time than we have now.
yeah,
If you
you're
get my
right.
point,
But
yeah,
if our boys begin to gel, we have a lot of players now. You know that, coach,
yeah, but
exactly in the midfield. All
okay,
these guys
all
begin
right.
to gel. If all these guys begin to gel, I think we can replicate that time of we can replicate what we had that time where we had Drogba and Co. Because we have a lot of players, a lot of quality young players right now. We just need them to be able to play together as a team.
All right,
Thank
no
you.
problem. Let me give those in the chat the microphone. I'll come back again. This says coach was check was good. I'm not gonna lie. One season, only one season. That what you meant there. Although he did make mistakes first year. Also, Roger only William Gallas is the one player Arsenal can be proud of buying from us. Arsenal was a retirement home for Chelsea after Gallas. After Gallas. Yeah.
A retirement home. I love it.
Yeah.
Good point.
All right, Constantine Dante, thank you so much for finding the time to join us this morning. We appreciate you and we missed you. January seems difficult for someone like Osimhen, or is it just you? I guess he's really keen to leave after those incidents, but still, that may well be the case. But as long as he's still there, they still have a chance of convincing him of to put pen to paper for a long-term contract. But I doubt that. That's because the Saudis would probably pay him nearly three times as much as how much he's earning at Napoli. Even us would pay him something close to that. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. Dante, much love to you. This says hit the like button, people, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. How many likes do we have today? We'll be rounding off very soon. We're streaming for 1 hour plus 40 likes. That's not bad. Yeah, and Roger is offside, coach.
Another thing, coach.
Yeah.
Another thing, coach, is we need to remember that Napoli's owners are not the easiest to negotiate with.
Oh, did you not hear what I said about his comments?
What do you mean?
Did you hear it that time, Roger?
No, I don't understand you, sir.
Okay, he said we addressed that 2 days ago. He said,
I'll
let you come back. And no worries. It doesn't matter. I'll just update you so you go ahead with what you were saying. He said, that Osimhen, they have a verbal agreement with him, in place with him, but he has refused to sign. But okay, if anything happens, they're fine with it. Then he said he wanted to say something to the effect of, just remember, Koulibaly had 1 year on his contract, and look how much we sold him for. You get that? So
yeah.
Go ahead, Roger.
Yeah, exactly. Checkmate. They're really not that easy to negotiate with. They're historically, at least, anyway. That doesn't mean that can't change, but I'd be shocked if it does. I think that's not it's not a feather in the cap for signing Osimhen. I think it's a disadvantage in many regards. But who knows? Let's hope we don't even need any of these players, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, that means we're firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope we do well
Sorry,
enough not to even consider signing them. I hope that becomes the case. Those who will not banter Havertz will regret missed opportunity. If Havertz scores and celebrates it tomorrow, let the games begin. I hope he doesn't score again, since he's gonna break some hearts. I just have nice thoughts of Kai when he scored that winner, Champions League winner. I think that's a good player in him, but it looks like something have changed. Sometimes I start questioning whether he's fixable actually. Since he joined Arsenal, from
Yeah,
what I've seen. Yeah.
Yeah, likewise. To be honest with you, for the first time, I begin to doubt him more so
Yeah.
than before.
Yeah,
I always
because
thought he had
consistent. Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, I always thought he had a very high ceiling, you know, and that's regardless of what he did for Chelsea in that final. I'm talking about just looking at him. You know, he has potential, and the way he plays for Germany, but he's never reached the limits that everyone thought he may. I'm a little bit surprised about that, to be honest with you, because I thought by now we would have seen it on a consistent basis.
Yeah. And it's just looking like Arsenal made a mistake to pay us that much.
And we thank them for it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, we'll always be grateful. We're nice people. Heard Kai and
I will go that far.
Yeah. Heard Kai and Jorginho are going as Walter White and Jesse Pinkman on Halloween. How can I not remember those characters? Are playing bad. Yeah, they've not been doing well in my opinion overall. Let's see anything else to address here. One more thing. Yeah, potential bidders for Victor Osimhen have been put on alert by commenter from Napoli president Aurelio De Laurentiis. Chelsea have been tracking the Nigerian striker for some time now. Okay, the question is, how serious are we? I don't know. So let's look at Dodge's comments here. And Roger, let me show you these numbers actually. I know, just to make you proud a bit. Where is it?
Hit me.
Gosh. Yeah, you sure you can survive it if I do? So this year saying, which I argued at the time, I wish Constantine Dante was still here. He wouldn't like this at all. Players with 40 plus tackles and interceptions combined in the Premier League this season. I'm guessing successful tackles, because not every tackle. Yeah, it's a marvelous Nakamba 41 and a second, and Conor Gallagher second. 40 in total. You could argue that's the reason why he's starting games. And if he continues to produce such high numbers in terms of interceptions and successful tackles, the manager will keep playing him. But let's hear you.
Yeah, you know, listen, he's playing with two stallions in midfield, isn't he? The two acquisitions that we have. I mean, that's our future decade for midfield. And even though we're probably not going to remain a 4-3-3 for much longer, I think he really has excelled. Listen, whether you like him or not, I think his deepest critics will admit that Gallagher is not the same player that we saw last year. He doesn't even resemble a fraction of what he was. The way he turns on the ball. He receives the ball with both feet on the turn. You know, I'm not sure what transpired with him on the coaching, you know, the training ground, but he seems a different person completely. Is he sometimes a little bit rash? Yes, no doubt about it. But he also seems that he's much more efficient in the way that he tracks down players. He doesn't look as if he's a headless chicken anymore for the most part.
He's more confident than he was last season.
He's more composed, but it's what he does with the ball also that I'm really impressed with, as much as how efficient he is off the ball. I think he doesn't even resemble the player he was last year. To me, he's had the biggest turnaround in my opinion thus far.
He has. I have to be honest,
and it shows. And I think we have to assume that the coaching staff should take full credit for that. I think that's a safe assumption.
Yeah, and the kid knew that was why he stayed.
I'm not sure what yeah, I'm not sure what the future holds for him. You know, bearing in mind that we're going to get an influx of players returning, like Nkunku and so forth. Change of formation, and then you have Lavia, etc. Listen, I still think he has a lot to be thankful for, and more importantly of all, listen, he's wearing the captain's armband also, which I didn't see happening at all. So he's got added dimensions to his game, and leadership is one of them. So I can't give a prediction of how well he will continue his career with Chelsea, but I'm pleased with what we're seeing thus far. He really is. I think his starting role is justified, Coach. Truly, it's justified. Not because he's a
you can argue that, and and you could say, Roger, you could say, when you say arguably since you started playing in the 4-3-3 structure and on the
right side, which he did for Palace, right? There's no. I don't believe it's a coincidence. You know, it's
not. Yeah, it's not.
He fits the position really well. But what happens if we do indeed revert back to a 4-2-3-1? You know,
then we'll start seeing those struggles and where people will start calling him out. Because you will see some converts actually from some people who don't like him, who has also surprised at how well he's improved. And even the beautiful game, before I read his comments, has even said if he continues and if he gets some 10 goals and assists, then he will drop the slander. You know that. Go ahead if you're still speaking, Roger.
Now I can sleep very happily, you know.
Yeah, because Roger,
what you said, thank you, mate. What you said was magic to my ears. In your absence, I've been defending Conor Gallagher, you know. It was really hard for me. And the backlash I received from Chelsea fans was very difficult for me to take. So I really appreciate it. Very nice analysis. So all I was saying was that he is improving, right?
And let me just say something quickly, Jerry. See, a place where you will never see Roger come to your rescue will be if you start that such fight on Twitter. You will not see Roger come there and post anything.
I don't go on Twitter, gentlemen.
Go ahead.
I don't subscribe to this theory. But listen, Jerry. No, I get it. Listen. The way technically he receives the ball. I'm talking about his first touch and on the turn. He's a much more refined technical player than we saw last year. Now, true, he's young, but still, I think all the plaudits that he receives are warranted. I really do. Regardless of whether he's English or he comes from the academy. If he came from Planet Pluto, I would say the same. It's noticeable, and it's been exponential, not linear.
And I've said this before, Roger, because of people, you can say single him out a lot. That is why every time he does well, it becomes huge news. I don't know if you understand my point now.
I don't pay attention to that.
I don't either. Go ahead.
He in the British vernacular, he's a Marmite player. You either love him or you hate him. You know, there's a product that we call Marmite, and it's a yeast extraction. And let me put it this way. It divides opinions, and he's the same kind of person. He divides opinion. Not sure why, but we've seen that before with quite a few players, like Mount, etc. People either love him or hate him. And to me, I think you have to be open-minded and observant.
You players credit when they do well, just like you give Raheem Sterling credit when he does well.
Yeah, listen, Raheem Sterling until this year has been inept for the most part. This year, he's excelled. He hasn't done it consistently, though. That is something I must emphasize. But he has been, on occasion, by far our best player. And he's playing with a renewed confidence. So, listen, as much as I critique him, you have to also, compliment him and give him kudos when it's warranted. It's that simple. There shouldn't be an agenda for any player, period. Just speak power to honesty, It's that simple. I don't get it. I just don't understand. If the evidence is overwhelming, then you must acquiesce and say, you know what, I was wrong. Or he wasn't that good until then. because my criticism of Sterling, for instance, has been warranted based on what we saw up to then. Now, has he been excellent? For the most part, yes, he's been outstanding. But it hasn't been consistent enough. But still, he on occasion, he's been our best player. And by a long shot, by the way.
And overall, something that comes to mind, I'm not going to mention who, as someone said, overall, more importantly, the bar is low right now. So
yeah, the bar is subterranean. It's a very low bar. Coach.
Yeah, and given where the bar is, yeah, he's one of our best players so far.
Yeah.
Oh no, everything was going so well on this thing until I knew you were gonna start crying. Breaking Bad, Walter White, the science teacher. I remember that. Gallagher, thank you so much, Mitchy boy, for helping. Gallagher is the attack dog. Michi can't spell this afternoon. JC's present resistance was severally tested over the last two streams. Makalele will be proud of him. Okay, let's hear. What is yep, I get that one. Roger, while you were on holidays, we have had loads of games in 3 weeks. Gallagher has been most consistent during this time. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Really? Oh, I can't believe who that was coming from. And the Blue Clouds Media, Zion, much love to you too, brother. I appreciate you finding the time to join. I hope the streams are going well. If you haven't, please go check out Zion's YouTube channel. Do subscribe to him and let him know I sent you. Excellent panelists all the time. Good discussions, important matters, not just Chelsea Football Club plus other clubs, but mainly he tries not to be biased, but because he's a Chelsea fan going through, every now and then subconsciously, you see him, his bias too. And here's how you do it, because he hasn't shared the link to his YouTube channel. Click the 3 dots to his name, then click go to channel and then check it out. Be sure to subscribe. And let's see, I wouldn't spread him on my toast, but that's just you. Yeah, exactly. I like the disclaimer there. That is just you. All right, and we can agree with that. So let's see how you, JC. I'm quite sure you're here. What topic do you want to talk about? Is it the Gallagher topic? That's what.
I just wanted to give my 2 cents on that, because that's why I came, and the way fans always glorify.
2
we
cents.
crucify a lot.
JC, it's 3 cents. It's inflation, mate.
So it has to be more.
Okay, I mean, just for your knowledge, we have had, I think, 1 game in 3 weeks. So just to, coach made a wrong tap in that. So. No, I agree. I agree. I mean, Gallagher fits very good. There are positives, definitely. So I will start with positives, not with the negatives, because there are not so many negatives, especially during the last month. We have to give him his due. But I won't judge him for simply having the technical ability to break the press, because he gets pushed along, and that's what that's a true element, yes, definitely. But I think the bigger picture is, if you look at like we have been playing 4-3-3, and we have Enzo and Caicedo, and Caicedo is like, okay, I mean, he's strong physically, like he does not fall very easily, but still he's not like a bully, like really a big lad. So Gallagher in those 3 brings the physical element. Gallagher is strong in there, so he is bringing that balance to that midfield, and also like the threat up front, because he can switch between 6 and 8, and that
different attributes.
Just quickly, why is it difficult for a lot of people to understand that he brings that balance?
I get it, but then that balance goes out of the window the moment he loses the reading of the game, and like he's just at times he looks like just running around everywhere where the ball is being passed along by the opponent.
JC, sorry to drift you. Good analysis.
I'll come to you.
Let him drop. Let him drop.
Just 1 second. So
Jerry, I will come to you.
Can you let him drop, please? Please,
Sure,
Jerry.
but he said when he loses the ball, So when did
Yeah,
this
let
thing
it drop.
happen
You
with
can
your
just
mind?
note
Jerry,
that point. You can note that point.
Jerry, I'm
Once
not
it's
talking
done, then
about
you talk.
agendas. I'm having an abstract intellectual kind of a reading. So everybody can have their own opinions. So I will not let you tap in right now. Maybe later on. Just give me finish it up. So you can tap in for sure. I know you will be excited by some of my takes and like you would like to tap in and underline some few of my sentence or words. I sure will let you have that. And Gallagher deserves that. Yeah, he's been good. But when you have this reading of the game, he's been also helped a lot by consistently improving Casado. Casado has been improving game by game by game as he's gaining match fitness. And if there is any like small errors or like starting from the behind back from Sancho in tight space, like when we are being pressed, Casado has been improving a lot, and that rubs on Gallagher. And those three in together, like if the mistakes are being less and less, because it's not only Gallagher, it is Casado has improved a lot in last 2-3 games, and that rubs off in on other two as well. And then I mean you make one error, but it does not cost you so much, and then the reading of the game requirement reduces a lot if you have like guys like Enzo and Casado, who are really masters of the art of this football, who are playing alongside you, so they can manage you. And then you have Thiago at the back, because at times you can see during the game also, like they are pointing with their hands like go there, go there, go there. So we are overall, I would say, we are playing better as a team. We are gelling, and these players are getting to know each other, and that is helping every one of them, including Gallagher. And I hope long it may continue. And we have more problems like that. Like we have a squad of 25 players, and everybody deserves to start. If that is the case, I am happy. I'm
Oh,
more
good.
than happy.
That's a good problem to have.
Yes, yes, yes.
So,
But
Jerry
but
Z,
but I would
yeah,
not
go ahead
make
if
him
you're
a
still talking.
Messi,
Yeah.
prime Messi or Hazard, who had the capability of turn around any place. I mean, yes, he does that. But I think the bigger picture and the more important aspect which he brings in that midfield is like, if there is some bully attacking Enzo or something, he is on top of them. He keeps them busy, opponents. So that is his mojo in that midfield. He is
Yeah,
physical.
thank you so much. So, Jerry, if you still think your not interjection, what your counter
Yeah,
argument is
sure.
necessary, you go ahead. We're listening. Jerry,
No,
yeah, go ahead, Jerry.
nothing important at this moment.
Oh, so you feel you've read it now. You see now he's on your side. Just one thing, you were enjoying everything he said about your boy Gallagher, but you heard one thing, you feel like no, you can't let him say that. You had to interject.
Gentlemen,
You and him on the same page, in my opinion.
Coach,
But let's see what this. Yeah,
Coach,
Yeah,
can I just ask everyone, if you don't mind?
yeah, shoot for it.
Listen, we have a really good dilemma going forward, and that's the return of some important players, integral players.
Mhm.
You know, like an Nkuku, for instance, like a Lavia, hopefully one day, you know, etc. What does this do to our formation? Do we stay with the 4-3-3, or do we go back to the formation coach hates so much, that 4-2-3-1?
In my
I
opinion,
think we should stick with 4-3-3. If Gallagher is going to be starting, let's stick with
we'll go with
4-3-3.
a 4-2-3-1. In my opinion, in my research, because we have to play Modric, and because we have 3 or 4 midfielders, doesn't mean that we have to play these players just for the sake of it. So
Sure.
I could be wrong, right?
You don't
But,
think Modric can
the
play?
way I
Modric
see-
can play in a 4-3-3. He can play. He
He
just needs
can,
to
but
adapt.
then we have to sacrifice a lot of forwards, like maybe Palmer, Sterling, and Kunku. We cannot fit all of them. This is one. This is not the only reason. This is one reason. Second, the way the Pochettino, if he sticks to his principles, see, we don't have the full squad right now, and the players will return the way left back and right back they are
Right.
in the attack, right? So that will be more effective in the 4-2-3-1 formation, with Reece
Especially
James,
with Reece. Yeah.
right? So in those contexts, it's my opinion and my belief that Pochettino will go with a 4-2-3-1 in the long run.
Roger, if I give my thought, which I would like to have your opinion on my reading of this situation. See, I thought we went with this 4-3-3 or whatever. I look at it in a different way. We know we were lacking goals, and we know Sterling is being almost like given a free hand. You attack as you like, just score goals. Like Poch is really pumping him up. Don't worry about the defense. Don't worry about moving back, helping with the defense. He's hardly coming back. He's just walking back. He's only thinking about attacking and scoring goals. And then we had Gusto, who had a red card, so he was not eligible. We didn't have Reece James. So if we had Sterling on the right side, and then we had no right back, proper right back, untested like a right back. Okay, Coachila did well. So if Sterling is not tracking back, and if we have an untested right back, that's a problem. So he moved Sterling to the left. He put in Palmer there, to
where
have a
you
more
could I
kind
go
of a
to the
balance.
left, where he's been most effective, actually, more importantly.
We scored against Burnley from the right side. Burnley, it was, or who was it? So he scored similar goals from the right side as well, coach. So he has been.
That makes sense. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the balance, I think that was the reason why Sterling. And now if he has to adjust Mudryk and Sterling, I am thinking that he might go with Sterling at the right because Gusto is back. So we can have like both Sterling and Mudryk starting. My question would be like what he does with the Palmer then, and if we are hearing rumors that he's throwing out in the media he's not sure whether Enzo or Caicedo is tired or not tired. So clearly he does not want to start Palmer in place of Gallagher. And then maybe one of those will rest, but I don't believe Enzo will rest or Caicedo will rest. So this is a dilemma, really. And then he's saying
it's a good dilemma.
Yeah, and then he's saying is Broe is not ready. Jackson is ill, so might be like we will have Palmer also starting, but we will not have any striker. Sterling will be there. So it's interesting what we see with the lineup tomorrow. But I think Sterling played on the left because, putting him on the right and then having a non-established right back, that would have been a little bit less balanced team. That's why he moved him to the left, I suppose, and put Palmer there. And Palmer is more tracking back and more intelligent, I would say.
No, I was talking about long term, eventually once we all have these players returning. And you're right. It's like, don't forget, you've still got Nkunku, you've still got Carney Chukwuemeka, and now into the fold, we have Palmer. This is a plethora of beautiful problems to have. We're blessed in that regard. But I think in all likelihood, there's a strong possibility and propensity that he will indeed revert back to the 4-2-3-1 because we have too many attacking options. But having said that, playing devil's advocate, you also have to have a balance, and the midfield is the engine room of our team.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how he will do it, but I think if I had to bet a dollar on it, I probably would say that the majority of games will be a 4-2-3-1. Depending on the opponent.
Yeah, I'm glad you used the language majority of the games because he's shown that he likes to mix it up.
Yeah, he's flexible in that regard. He's not rigid at all, which is good.
And so far this season, the structure that has served us well the most is the 4-3-3 structure. For some reason, that I can't quite put my hands on. But go ahead.
Yeah, it's really served us well. I think, honestly, I think we had no choice but to revert to that because of losing Carney. After losing Nkunku.
You can say like in a 10.
Yeah, because of playing Enzo there, it didn't work. And so he gave it enough opportunities, shall we say a sampling size. Sorry, Mitchie. But, that's what he did. And you know what? You can't just base it on one game. You have to try at least multiple games, and he's tried that, and Enzo did not, shall we say, excel in that position.
He was awful.
A lot to be desired for. Let's leave it at that. But playing with that 4-3-3, it allows people like Conor to play in a natural position where he excels at, and it does put Moises Caicedo in a singular six, a single pivot, so to speak, but with the actual auspices that, you know, obviously Gallagher could track back, etc. I think, you know, and don't forget we've got Ugochukwu too. You know, Leslie. You know,
An excellent player too.
yeah. On paper, on paper when we're all fit, it's just going to be wonderful to see and what transpires and how we navigate. You know, the oncoming games. I'm just interested to see how he's going to use the formations and who he employs. That's what I wanted to hear from what you chaps.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I wanted to ask that question for. Sorry.
Yeah. All right, thank you so much. Let's give those in the chat the microphone. But before I do that, the beautiful game has helped me highlight the link to my brother's YouTube channel, the Blue Clouds Media, Knee Zion. Please go check it out. Be sure to subscribe. Always excellent panelists there. Believe me, you will enjoy it. You're going to thank me later. Go check it out. Be sure to subscribe. Let's help him get to 4,000, 5,000, 10,000 subscribers as soon as possible. We need to study Conor Gallagher and make sure we create a fuel for cars and whatever he's running on. Yeah, and here's the thing. He's the guy that also he's had a surgery for some sort of correction. His lungs are hot, and still look how much he runs.
Wow.
His story marvels me. When he can, I'm touched by his story. I for lack of a better term, when he had that surgery, I was following him at the time also. That's not the reason why I always defend him. Let me be honest here. But he survived that. I was thinking that was it. He's never going to play. He was never going to play football again. But after that, he's recovered. He's playing. I couldn't believe it, honestly. And I started liking him even more, even though I would still say, yeah, he's not my favorite player at Chelsea. During the under-17 in India, I think they won it. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Correct.
17. Yeah. His story, this guy, he's built differently. And hopefully he continues in that trajectory of improvement. That will lead him a long way, honestly. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, we need to do that. But thank you for that. That's funny, but at the same time, it says something how... tapping merchants. Chimera, just go away.
That's funny.
The Bluetooth game says, Coach, seriously, when you play Gallagher in context, he is a very useful player. I would definitely give him minutes. I know you like to joke, but I know when you're serious, and I know you're serious. And you were the one that said when you check Google his injury record, you said it literally says no entry, and that's something special. He's that player that differs from all the players we have in terms of his industry, his commitment, and the fact that he's Chelsea through and through makes him a very important player to the manager. And numbers shows he's delivering, and the manager's seeing that. And hopefully we'll continue with 4-3-3, just like the same argument I was making in the case of Ruben Loftus-Cheek, not because he's as industrious as Conor Gallagher, but because he's actually an 8. And at the time I was arguing he's one of the best 8s we have, but he doesn't get to play in that position. But we kept playing him centrally where I think he's not good at it. Centrally, I don't want to see Gallagher. On the flanks, believe me, he will always be good. And he continues to say that I would definitely give him minutes versus Arsenal. He could destroy a lot of their build-up play and upset their rhythm, and which was why the same reason you're arguing he starts against them is the same reason why I would like to see Marco Correa start. He comes across as erratic, but he finds a way to unsettle the opposition players. Big up Coach Panel and chat. Up the Chelsea says the True Blue. Clay, always nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. Gallagher starts regardless. We know that, except if he's injured. Let me go back to what somebody said. I'm not going to mention name. The buy is so low at this point. He's one of our best players right now. No matter how you say it. OMG, yeah, sample size. Roger said that. He was looking for you when he said it. Roger is on the yellow. What did you say, Jesse?
I just said that he will captain the team tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're very correct. Reece James is not available and Chilwell isn't available. So you're very correct. Coach is easily pleased. Remember, he was Koulibaly's
Wow.
No way. Yes. Here's
Tough
the thing.
crowd, coach.
You
Tough
know,
crowd.
I'm quite sure the club sold Koulibaly because of his salary. As simple as
Coach,
that.
don't bite on that bait. You're biting on the coach.
Cream will rise to the top, Roger. I think I agree with that one, even though I don't know what it means. VAR said it was a red. It was a red, Roger. Roger joins the chat also. Did Nightbot just card Roger? Oh no, she did. Probably did. Roger deleted the message. Big up to you two, Phil Sips. Big up panel. I hope we win 2-1 tomorrow. I hope we win. It doesn't matter how it ends. Okay, we'll find out tomorrow. So no need. Don't be in a rush to say that, Mr. Arsenal FC Moment. Just leave him. He provides value to the stream. IBZ. IBZ is in the house. IBZ, keep the blue flag flying high. Big up to you, brother. I just thought, and I know you understood quite well that day. I think it was Jude Mesole, a lot of people Mesole that asked about you. Then I said okay, and thank goodness I didn't forget. I said okay, and I told him I'm gonna say I think we were in a private meeting with him for his YouTube channel. Was when he talked about you. I told him I'll check on IBZ that I haven't, and that's not good. Same thing with Roger and every other person we've missed here. And I reached out. It turns out you were good. Just been busy.
Yeah, man. Big up, man.
Yep. There you goes the Batman voice.
Big up, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. So IBC, I don't know. You want to comment? Anything you want? Anywhere you want to start? We've been talking about Conor Gallagher, his importance and how well he's been doing, and how he's actually the most improved player under Mauricio Pochettino. I don't know if you want to come in there. Up to you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, everyone's. It's been a good couple games. Tomorrow needs to be a win. I can't settle for anything less. I'm sorry, just only because of the record so far. It seems that Arsenal have made it a habit, winning at Stamford Bridge, and or the record right now doesn't look in our favor. So I don't want there to be a breed of or a common theme where it just stays in the players' minds where we will just be losing every time we play Arsenal. No, that can't be the situation. So yeah, tomorrow has to be a win. I almost don't care about the tactics. I want the occasion for it to speak for itself. And I just want the players to turn up. We cannot lose to Arsenal.
You want to see the players play? I see if it's you can say it's a London derby, unlike the last time we met at the Bridge.
You have to play.
They were the ones playing as if it was a London derby, and we were like, just, we've lost this one.
Because if we don't turn up for big, excuse me, if we don't turn up for these big games, or if the players themselves haven't solidified themselves or want to solidify themselves in Chelsea folklore history, or especially in fixtures like this, when will they ever do it? So this is where you I understand the fixture, it will be emotional, or they're young, so they might not be able to control that emotion of the whole game. But I believe they should just do it and enjoy it and go for it, man, and do not show Arsenal any respect. This is Arsenal. We get at them, and then we go at them, and that's it. That's what I would like.
IBZ, Poch, I don't believe has ever lost to Arsenal.
Well, I mean that
he hasn't. A home game, to be specific. He hasn't. At home,
he has never lost. He has played 6 games combined with Southampton and Tottenham, 3 wins and 3 draws.
That's pretty impressive.
So, I mean, if that's the case, then it shows that he understands the importance of keeping a home win, obviously, especially against a top side like Arsenal. He knows the importance of this fixture. Well, I hope he does, because I haven't seen any manager that's taken control of us that actually understands the importance of this fixture since Mourinho. I don't think Tuchel understood it.
Yeah, for a while now we haven't.
I believe Lampard understood it, but he just didn't have the tactical awareness to actually, take a stronghold. And I only believe that Mourinho did. And I just hope that Pochettino can at least make the players understand the significance of this fixture, because this is a must-win game. In my opinion, we need to get 3 points.
And also, the Bridge needs to be a fortress once more.
we need to build that confidence. These kids need to build their legacy. I mean, and I don't know where
it starts tomorrow. Yeah,
exactly where it's best to start it against Arsenal at home in Saturday night football. I mean, it's just brilliant, isn't it? So I hope we get a result. It's easier said than done. I know this, but yeah, I can't take Arsenal 3 points at the Bridge tomorrow. I can't. And Gallagher, I'm expecting him to lead the line, bruv. Lead the line. Whoever, if he's captain, lead it. I'm expecting
bring that
to
fight.
Yeah, bring that fight. I'm serious. I want it to match the occasion. I want us to be first in the tackles. Don't shy from any. I mean, obviously, be careful because the rules and regs now, are very tight now. For the significance of the game, it's easy to get booked and sent off these days. So I just want us to be more on it. Like, show Arsenal no bloody respect at all.
And the crowd, I think, will be up for it.
I hope so as well.
Yeah,
because that will really mean it. Be a big difference.
It'll be rocking. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and just quickly in terms of recent form, let's say count. Usually they show only 5 games. Pretty even. In fact, goals scored. I think we scored more than them, or it could be equal. Wow. Yeah, they've lost one. We've lost one. They drew one. We drew one.
Yeah, our form is pretty much
pretty much even.
Again, these games like this, I would like to signify. I don't believe form goes out the window here in these games, man. I mean,
in London derbies, right? Yeah.
Bro, when Arsenal are in town, I'd look at them, mate. This is the red Arsenal with the bloody, thing on top. Like this. This is Arsenal, Chelsea. We need to show them what time it is. Like, I've seen Arsenal capitulate, and when it's Tottenham, they turn up, home or away. I've seen them do that.
Yeah.
And I believe that in our situation, we're not even in a situation where we capitulated, albeit we're in a transition, and Arsenal are probably more or less nearly the finished article. We still need to understand the significance of this game, and we need to go at them. Zero respect.
I would say this, Roger. Let me hear your thoughts on this. Last season, I think our biggest issue on that day was the lack of, you could say, commitment, maybe, for lack of a better term. We didn't approach that game as if it was a London derby. No fight in us. And Arsenal came. I think part of their strategy was to be aggressive, and we had no answer to that. They bullied us at home.
Yeah, was that last season?
Yeah.
Let
me hear you, Roger. Go ahead, Aggie. Once you drop, let's Roger come.
Sorry. Just about that one. I could remember a transition of play. They played from the back to the front, and it was just a goal. It was just a goal that did not top the icing. That was the only icing that was missing, the goal. Other than that, Arsenal played us up, and I looked at that and I said that we are far off the park. So hopefully tomorrow we do not see any sign of that. No, sirree. No way. No bloody way. I just can't take it. Maybe it's me personally. Maybe it's the people I know personally that I've got a lot of Arsenal people on my neck. Yeah.
So they better save you.
On my neck. Anyway.
Roger, do you remember that game? What do you think happened?
Yeah, so listen. If you're a chef and you work in the kitchen, and you show up to work and you feed food to your clientele, but they get food poisoning. If the chef says, sorry, just wasn't up for it today, you're getting fired, right? Mm-hmm. Same for a surgeon. Oh, sorry, your son lost his right leg. I wasn't up for the surgery today. No one in any field of work other than sports get to use that bloody excuse. Sorry, wasn't up for it today. And you hear that invariably. These are highly paid athletes that they should turn up for work every single day. It's that simple, because we looked flat. We didn't show up, and that is the sole responsibility of the coaching staff. The coach. Listen, I always defend the players that when they cross that line, it's up to them to execute. However, the mental approach, the psychological approach, this I believe is solely the responsibility of the coaching staff. And I say staff, not just the head coach. It has to be positional staff, etc., supporting staff. It's that simple. You cannot show up to, especially a derby, that adds extra weight, even though the points are the same. You know, the fans demand it. You know, for instance, an Everton-Liverpool derby, it's huge. Regardless of where Everton are in the table, trust me, they invariably play like it's their FA Cup final. And that's because, and it's the same in every country. You look at, you know, whether it's a Madrid derby or a Milan derby, etc. I could go on and on and on. You know, it doesn't matter. Derbies these are the games that the fans circle. And it behooves us to show up. Simple as that. And our mindset has to be different from bygone days gone by. It's that simple. We cannot show up like we did in our previous game. I think it will be a very dark day for Chelsea and the coaching staff if they do not rectify this. The attitude I'm talking about, not the tactical acumen or the execution, but at least the attitude.
Yeah, we can say it's the thing. Arsenal last season, that game, you could say part of their game plan was to be aggressive, and we had no answer to that.
And they were.
We had no answer to that. They bullied us, and I was so annoying. I couldn't believe that was a London derby, in my opinion.
Didn't look like it, did it?
Why were we surprised when the preseason prior to the season?
Yeah, do you remember that?
Question, we were put off the park, and our manager at the time.
My thought at the time was that it was just preseason.
Yeah,
no
so did I.
I saw the red flags then. That's when I saw it.
Now they have Kai Havertz and Jorginho in their team.
Oh,
I don't think they will start. And if they start, we'll say a different version of those two players.
I begged them. I begged them to start Jorginho. I listen. I'm not religious. I will go to church tonight. Please start him. I behoove you.
He may well start him.
I hope so.
Jerry, quickly before I hear from JC,
I'm going to leave you guys. I just wanted to say hello. I just wanted to come in and say hello.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. And you can see on the screen, the Bluetooth again is saying big up Barry White. You know what he means by that. We're all like your microphone set and the voice is something special. Jerry, let's hear you. Thank you, bro. Much love to you. Just know that we'll always talk about you again, and we'll always ask after anybody that we haven't seen in a while. Jerry, let me ask you this. Last season, you can say part of the reason why Arsenal blew the league when they had the opportunity to win it. So many teams were in it. Part of it was that he wasn't, you can say, as pragmatic as he should be at the time, plus lack of experience in depth and other reasons. This season, he seemed a bit more pragmatic. If you watch the game against Man City, see what he did there. He didn't care. He didn't care. Didn't want it to be pretty. He just wanted to win. Which means part of it is just also Arsenal. Also, you could say they're into dark arts too.
Sorry.
Yeah, they're into dark arts. Yeah, they're into getting players caught. Yeah, they're into it. They're into also again. Dark art part of it, winning penalties when they don't even deserve one. But let's stick with that. You can say them being aggressive. Jerry, do you think we're ready to deal with that part of the game this season? Because I'm quite sure they will come with that again. And part of what they did last season was to wind up our players, and we weren't able to deal with it. But let's
I'll give my I got the question. Thank you so much. So I want to address with the two gentlemen, Roger, and sorry, I don't remember the name of the guy. IBZ. Sorry, IBZ, if you're listening. So because both of them were raising a very legitimate question about our intensity or the players, because they are new players, right? Do they really understand this London derby? And it's a very genuine question, right? To answer that, I can only assume, right? Why this will play a very important, why Pochettino will play a very important role is because Pochettino's last club in England, Tottenham, biggest rivals were Arsenal, the North London derby, right? And I remember very well the first time.
We have enough players now that are well acquainted with the derby.
No, I'm talking about Pochettino. That Pochettino as a coach himself.
That was why I said plus. We have
had five years.
Right now go ahead.
5 years of biggest rivalry with Tottenham was against Arsenal with the North London derby, and he was told by the Tottenham management for the first North London derby how important it is. So I don't want to get into detail. Like, he was actually educated and was briefed that you must understand the importance of North London derby. So he knows it. One. The second thing I wanted to say, I'm just making a case, and I believe we'll see the intensity and the aggression. Is that he talks a lot with his players, right, in the training. And when PSG were playing FC Barcelona, when he was coaching PSG, so he was talking to Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe asked him, "Did you ever defeat Barcelona?" He said, I once defeated them when I was coaching Espanyol. In fact, I defeated Pep Guardiola's Barcelona." Mbappe said, today will be the second time we'll beat Barcelona, and they won 4-1. So I'm saying that Pochettino is always ready, right? I'm not saying that we'll win, right? I'm not saying it's a possibility. What I'm saying is that he must be ready for this game. His personal historic rivalry with Arsenal and the way he is so engaged with the players, I am definite. I can almost guarantee that you guys will see a very aggressive, a very passionate Chelsea team tomorrow. So this is my observation and my understanding. Thank you so much.
I concur. I believe that is a fair assessment.
Yeah. Go ahead, Roger. Sorry.
I cannot see us being as flat as we were last season. I really can't. And if we are, I'll be exceptionally surprised. Seriously, I believe he understands the meaning of previously coached in London. He understands the dynamics. He understands.
That's an excellent point. Yeah.
Yeah, he really does understand what the crowd, what the fans, what it means to them and what it means to the organization. I really believe that he will impart that to his players. And you have people like a Chalobah, like a Gallagher, etc., that are from the academy. They will speak to these players and say, listen, this is huge for us. They will impart that also. I think just like if Gallagher moved to a Milan team, it doesn't take a PhD to understand that, AC versus Inter is huge. There is no explanation required. And I think the same can be said for the most part for this game. So
yeah, except if Gallagher was playing in Jupiter, then he wouldn't know about the Milan derby.
But you know what I'm saying? It's I
totally understand.
I agree. I cannot see us being flat this time at all. In fact, the only thing that I'm worried about is if we're too overamped. That's my concern.
Yeah, I do agree with you. How about you, Jesse? You have anything to add to that?
Well, if you ask me, it's, in my opinion, I don't think we have players who know how to be aggressive or to be using these dark arts during the game. Okay, a few. I mean, Jackson certainly knows how to do that.
Does Jackson is he into dark arts?
Yeah. He will. He's played in Spain, so he knows it. Believe me.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But here's the thing, Jesse. I'm not saying we should match them in terms of dark arts, but in terms of aggression.
Intensity.
If they're going to be aggression, we show them we can bring aggression too.
So these are two. Yeah. What I was trying to say is, like, these are sort of tricks or I mean, when they're aggressive, it's not like with their whole heart they are like aggressive and all. These are ways of putting pressure on the other team and trying to manage the game or the tempo of the game or the rhythm of the game. But if we look at Chelsea is normally not complaining to the referees a lot. We are not crowding referees a lot. We are not using a lot of dark arts. We are not pushing. I think you won't find any of our defenders like Rudiger used to. Like, he would throw in a hard tackle and then rest of the game is easy. None of our center backs do that. Only maybe Gallagher will be, but he gets these yellow cards all the time, So. I don't think we will be like the Chelsea team plays. Is like, okay, bring it on. They don't complain. They just move on with their game. And yes, maybe, I mean, to the eye test, it looks maybe they want it more like Arsenal. But believe me, like football, I mean, as long as they win, I don't care. I mean, this has been like even in the past. You remember, like Chelsea was very strong defensively also, but we never were aggressive or something like that. Yes, okay, Mourinho used to like use the tactics like Arsenal used to be the soft team, and like you make small niggling fouls to break their rhythm and things like that. But other than that, I don't think Chelsea is over aggressive. I've not seen them being over aggressive in any of the games. I mean, and even when the things are going against, the referee decisions are going against, they just get up and get on with the game. So that's
Roger, Roger,
that's
Roger, you've been caught in the tapping, so you're in trouble. Go ahead, JC. Michi is mentioning that in the chat. Go ahead, JC. Sorry for cutting
So
you off,
I
brother.
don't think like they will be, but I do hope is that the stadium will be aggressive, that the fans will be vocal, and that is very much due. I mean, last game, yes, they were last home game, but the fans have been quite like the stadium is very like dull atmosphere. I mean, tomorrow there is no reason to be dull. I mean, whatever is this. It's a derby, so stadium will matters a lot. The crowd matters a lot. It's a home game. Come on, I mean
It's a home.
that
Unfortunately,
that
I
has
have issues with our match going fans
yeah.
until they prove me wrong.
Yeah.
You have to say
Yeah.
that. Go ahead. Sorry if you're still saying something.
No, that pretty much summarizes what my thoughts were.
All right, thank you. With this one on the screen, I'm going to come with you, Jude. This here from Phil Siebes says a lot of pundits and fans for all the teams are already count us on these terrible run of games till December. But I am sure we can win some games, including Arsenal tomorrow, and we can get some points. Here's the thing. I'm going to say this. I'm not doing a tapping on you. I'm just saying it just sounds like something I've been saying where I've been saying these games that people think are going to be the most difficult games for us to get wins from are the ones actually I think will get something will surprise people, in my opinion. But here's where I'm concerned: the fact that Arteta has become more pragmatic than he was last season. But let's go with this, Judy, if you're there. The fact that a lot of people aren't giving us giving out any chance to get any, you could say, a good result from that game. Let me just stick with that. To me, it makes me believe that we'll surprise people. I think that's how Chelsea are. If you think a particular team is going to mop the floor with us, we end up winning that game or doing well. And when you think we're going to mop the floor with a particular team, we end up faltering. To me, which shows Charity FC is still well and truly in
We
existence.
play to the level of our opponents, coach.
That's one. That's a new one from you, Roger. Thank you very much. But Judy, if you're there, is Judy there? Judy's not there actually. So let's hear you on that one. Bobby, if you're still there.
Roberto.
And I'm no Bobby. He's kept Roberto. He's kept quiet because he knows he can always come in whenever he wants. But we have Showtime in the house. Showtime, how are you doing? I appreciate you. It's been a minute, brother, but thank you for finding the time to join the panel today. You still have the Marina DP. You haven't given up, but you should because she's not coming back. But here's the thing: the question I have for you: do you think because a lot of people don't think, a lot of people believe Arsenal will smash us? The language a lot of fans use. Do you think that's a sign that would do well? Let's hear you, Showtime, if you're there.
Yes, thank you for having me, Coach.
Big up, brother. It's been a while. I hope things are okay with you.
Everything is well. Long live the Roman Abramovich era, man. This is gonna.
I was gonna ask you for your ID if you didn't say that.
As long as until we win a trophy under this new regime, this piece stays up.
All right. I hope we will do that soon.
Regarding tomorrow, I feel like this is the time where we can solidify this new regime as a Big Six club. This is top competition. No disrespect. I hate that team in red, but I have to say, this is where you prove yourself. Runners up for the league last year. You're going against them now. There's, I think, second or third in the league as currently standing. I think that this is where you prove ourselves as a Big Six club. We can't
make a statement.
This is our statement game that we are still a Big Six club. That all this money, all this change that we've gone through is for the better. That we can compete with the top six. We are part of the top six. Other than that, if we get punched in our mouth, if the fans don't start bringing some energy and encouraging this team to play well and bigging up the striker. I mean, as a striker, I think we need to match going fans need to start praising even when Jackson does something close to being a goal or making runs and doing something pleasing. Don't and ooh and oh my God and sigh. Let the people that are sitting at home do that. You guys are supposed to be like, yes, pick it up, give them words of encouragement.
Applaud the effort.
Yes,
lift the team.
effort. I think.
Yeah, lift the team. Yeah, another one. Yeah,
I think like the last speaker said, I think there is no pedigree or there's no macho man within that back line. Is the grandpa Thiago, you have youngster and Colwell, and you have Disasi, which is a newcomer. I think Chalobah suits me better than Disasi, but we're just
unfortunately.
Yeah, and we'll just talk about that in another segment. But I think that there's no Rudiger in that defense. No top flight. I'm gritty. You know what I mean by enforcer. Yes, in that back line. And what you need in your defense. I think Thiago Silva. No disrespect. Thank you. I applaud you. But I think us using Thiago Silva to this day consistently match in and match out is highly, in my eyes, unfavorable. I think that for us to move on from the Thiago Silva, I think we need to start implementing some of those youngsters, move Colwell back to the center back, the heart of the middle, and move somebody else to the left. I think now that we're starting to get our defenders back, I think Thiago Silva needs to take a little bit of a back seat respectfully to make sure we solidify, just not for now, but going towards the future, because we're not going to have Thiago Silva till he's 50 years old. I think this is where you build up that characteristic of the leader in that back line, that nitty gritty. And my opinion for tomorrow is Reece James does not start.
I wouldn't start him either. Cucurella has been brilliant for us, for us in that position.
Cucurella, Gusto, those two right there have Reece James. Don't put him. This game is too big for us to have Reece James for one game and he gets nicked up and he can't play for the next 4 or 5 games again. Can't have
at least.
Yeah. I think you go with Cucurella at the right because he's been absolutely beautiful.
Been money.
Right. And I didn't expect it from him, knowing the way that we've treated him. But respectfully,
I'm quite sure Roger either did.
Yeah.
No, I did not. And he's excelled.
Go ahead, Showtime.
But yeah, I mean, last, I mean, everything is ought for us to grab right now. This is out because at the end of the day, they're coming off a momentum of beating City. You beat City. We've won the Champions League by beating City. You haven't won it. But we need to come ready to play and fight for the badge, fight for the fans, and prove that we belong in this big 6 type of conversation, respectfully. Man,
yeah, I think I agree with you. I couldn't say anything better. But Roger, let's hear you. His argument that Reece James shouldn't start tomorrow. I think I agree with that. And
can I type in a question? Can I type in a question to the speaker, respective
Okay,
speaker?
just 1 second quickly. Hey, say what you like about Cucurella. He comes across as erratic, but at the same time, he unsettles a position player the way he marks players. Like it's like he's glued to your body and all that. But go ahead, JC, tap in the question.
Yeah, my question was exactly
on the argument that Reece James shouldn't start, but he can still answer that later. Let's hear you.
My question was exactly regarding Cucurella. Cucurella has done excellent defensively. And our games were not against teams who were pressing really hard. And but Arsenal, we know they would like to park the camp in our half, and they will be pressing really hard, and they are really good at it. So who would you rather start? Cucurella, who has not been very good at sort of calling press resistant, because he's not been able to dribble out or pass out from the press, or Colwell as a left back, who at times has made errors under pressure, but he's better on the ball, So who would you pick? My question to the respected panelists, if it is against Arsenal's high press, who do you think is better, Cucurella or Colwell?
Are you
I think
referring
Cucurella
to the
would do
right,
better.
the left back, right?
Left back, as a left
Yeah,
back.
Cucurella
Well,
would do better. In
but
my opinion.
I think Cucurella stands a good chance of starting on the right back.
Why did you say that, Richard? Let's hear you.
Well, it depends on James's fitness, yes. So we don't know. Only the coaching medics, the fitness staff, and James knows whether he's able to start or play any minutes at all to contribute. So
I wouldn't risk him.
Well, you don't. One doesn't know. Gusto has not exactly coveted himself in glory, especially going forward. He's inept.
But defensively, he's done well.
Yeah, yes, I'm not conceding that. He's been solid. I would say he's been solid defensively. He's been good, very good. But defensively, going forward,
Mitchie really
though,
knows you very well. Mitchie said it. You don't like Gusto, but go ahead.
No. Listen, he's 20, isn't he? He's got so much. He's in the early embryotic stages of his career. Let's not forget that. If he was in his mid-20s, then I'd be concerned. But he's not.
He's just 20. Yeah.
Yeah. So put this into context, gentlemen. You can't expect him coming into a new league with a new team, a new coaching staff to hit the ground running. So let's be fair in our assessment and put things into perspective here.
Roger, can you answer JC's question with regards to the left back? I get it.
Yeah.
There's a chance he starts on the right, but if you were to
because of we don't know what James's fitness is, there's a strong possibility that I believe Cucurella starts on the right. Now,
and I wouldn't risk James either, but that you're answering the question of Showtime now.
Sure,
which I asked you, do you agree that James shouldn't be risked, even if he's fully fit? Let's give him more time. We don't want a situation where he plays a game and then not play the next 10 games.
Well, it would be irresponsible to start him if he's not ready. So if he does start, it's based on the assumption that he is ready. So let's say Cucurella doesn't start at right back. And to answer your question, JC, sir, I would say that I would probably want, because of the height also, and I understand Cucurella excels in the air for someone as diminutive as himself. However, I prefer...
He's actually more aggressive in the air than Levi Colwell from what I've seen, but that's just my opinion.
No, and I think there's some truth to that assessment, because I come to the same conclusion on quite a few occasions, but Colwell, I believe I would prefer Colwell to start at left back. I really would.
Okay, something else. Jesse said yes. Jesse said
because of continuity.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because of continuity, also, coach. That's
continuity. More importantly, continuity is for me. But in terms of just something Jesse said about progressing the ball, I think Cucurella is actually excellent as progressing the ball, even more than if you're talking about the left back position, even more than Colwell. Yes. In my opinion, from what I've seen, because Cucurella, that's one thing. That's one of the reasons why I'd always choose him over Ben Chilwell, because of his ball progression, because he has that intelligence to find passing lanes where you don't think one exists. Okay. And he always keeps it on the carpet. But for Colwell and what's his name, Ben Chilwell, once they have a man on them, they go sideways or backwards.
Oh, yeah, on a good day. I get it. I can see that.
Yeah, on a good day. So, but Cucurella has that intelligence. Even when you have 2-3 players on him, he still finds a good passing lanes.
No, I can see that. That's a valid point.
Opinion,
however, I still would prefer to have Colwell because of consistency and the fact his physicality.
Consistently, more importantly, it makes sense. Consistency, so to speak, it does make sense.
And the fact that he has not shown us, Cucurella, that is, that he can play at a consistently high level at that left back position. Now, he has done that on the right back for the most part in the 2 or 3 starts he's had. And he has surprised me in a good way. So,
okay, but
does that mean he can translate to the left back, which he normally plays anyway? His natural position.
Possibly. And there's something I talked about. I'm coming to you, Showtime. Something I talked about. His biggest issue whenever Cucurella is his only problem when he plays on the left-hand side is that every time he plays there, he drifts in.
He goes wandering.
Yeah, exactly. That's sort of his
discipline.
Sweeper defender approach where he drifts and follows the ball to the right, because he has that tendency of trying to clean up after his fellow defenders.
But he hasn't done that on the right
hasn't done
side
that
yet,
yet.
Coach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe because he's because he's played predominantly on the left and tends to drifting more. So when he's on the right hand side, well, he might want to start climbing the stands if it.
So listen, maybe just like Conor Gallagher has been transformed, maybe Cucurella has been transformed also.
Maybe.
So
these things happen. Just
yeah,
how
of course they do.
tested Aspilicueta on the left back position, and boom, all season.
Yes, exactly. Do you remember that? So
yeah, it happens.
Yeah, of course. That. So there is a possibility, but this is a very big game to try that. Listen, we have to put our faith in the coaching staff and who they deem would slot into any position regardless. So whatever our coaching staff decides, I think they know better than us based on what they see on a daily basis. But let's put it this way. We're discussing a problem based on quality of depth, aren't we, for all intents and purposes? And that's a good thing to have, gentlemen.
Yeah, and JC being the first that started saying that a few days ago, so don't tap in on him. Showtime, you wanted to say something else?
I mean, regarding Cucurella, it depends who he plays. I think it all depends on who he plays alongside. On the right side, I think he's more comfortable there because of Disasi. Don't get me wrong. I like Chalobah, but I think Disasi brings him a little bit of assurance that if he gets beat, Disasi's there to cover him.
Greater physicality.
Yes, with physicality. I think Levi Colwell, the inexperience that he comes with, it gives Cucurella that little tweak in his brain, like, no, I got to make sure. Too much thinking. When a player thinks too much prior into reacting, when he thinks then reacts, it causes problems.
It's not instinctive. I get it.
Yes. Cucurella is more of a flow. He flows with the game. Over time, he builds that confidence to play. But with Disasi next, but beside him,
that is some observation right there. He does flow with the game, and over time, if you leave him on the pitch, he grows with the game.
That's it. It's about building his confidence. Right now, he's so confident on the right that I wouldn't even fan him bring him to the left because you don't know what it would do to his mental. Right now, I think he's well prepared on the right. I think that's where he's best suited. I think you leave Colwell there unless you want to slot him where Thiago Silva is.
And he's played so well on the right, it just seemed as if he was made for the right rather than the left, actually.
That's
to be honest with you, if you look at the last 2-3 starts on the right, if you had said that, by the way, he's a left back naturally, it would be hard to actually believe that, if you've never seen him play on the left before, because he looks at home on the right. He really does.
He's not so well. I wouldn't risk playing James. Go ahead, Jesse.
And here's another
that
mix.
Would depend.
Let me throw one more thing in the mix. Colwell has been shooting long balls over the top all season, and he did that regularly at Brighton as well. And if we have
from a central position, right?
No, from the left central back, or even from the left back.
Not in the left back position.
Are you talking about taking shots on goal?
No, passing range.
Just putting in crosses or over the top balls for the wingers to run.
I see. Got you. Yeah.
So and from the left back also he's been doing recently as well. And if we have a high pressing Arsenal, and if we have no striker but Sterling up front as a false 9, and then with him we have Palmer and Mudryk, I mean it will be a free space for Mudryk to run into.
Yes.
Whoever loves that ball in front over Arsenal, that would be a threat. So, and I think if Arsenal comes more mature, and like they were in Manchester City, first defending and being careful not to lose the game, then we probably will have a better, I would say, equal possession and all. But if they will come all out attack, then we have to look at counter-attack goals. And counter-attack goals, I don't think Sterling has the pace for that. Then we need somebody like Mudryk and somebody like Colwell to be lobbing the balls on top from the
down the channel. Yeah.
So do
Something
you
that's
think?
Kukurea, you could say he has that a bit of David Luiz approach to the game.
Must be
That
the hair.
yeah. Beyond the hair, something that comes to mind that you can say partly the erratic approach, and something else is the way he follows the ball. Before you trap the ball, David Luiz is on you, skin to skin. I hope you understand what that means there.
Sure.
I think he operates like that too. But go ahead. Were you speaking, Roger? Were you saying something?
No. Listen, it's going to be an interesting game tomorrow for many reasons on many levels. But so I'm putting on my goalkeeping lenses here. We have to be tight at the back. We cannot afford to give away cheap goals. If we can be tight and not give away silly goals, I think we're going to excel in this game as time goes on.
To be specific, let me come in there. Then I'll catch up with the side. We'll speak about the last thing that comes to mind right now. Is that space? I think we've stopped. We're not seeing much of that. Under Graham Potter, we used to have a situation where during corner kicks or set piece, we have all of our defenders, everybody defended inside the box, and we leave them just spaces on the right outside the box. Yeah. And Odegaard, he exploited that perfectly last time we played against them. I think that has stopped. I think that has stopped now with Casado, us having a player who's more of a traditional, who's more of a DM than we've had before. I think he reads it though so well. We haven't seen that happen that much. Arsenal could have scored actually 4 goals from outside the box last season against us. Yeah. I think we must tackle that. But just quickly, let me give those in the chat the microphone. I'll hear you whether you think I make sense with that argument. Roger, the last time we beat Arsenal was back in 2018. That's crazy, a long time ago. Me and Roger are mature, so we cannot remember beating Arsenal at all. The fixture motivates the players. They don't need any pep talks. You could agree.
You hope so.
We've changed, and maybe given Gallagher understand what it means. A London derby means. Even Raheem Sterling, he's a London boy. I was again from what I've learned. We have even James isn't playing. Levi Colwell, Thiago Silva. He knows what it is. Go ahead, Roger. You were saying something.
Yeah, he's from Brent. He grew up near Wembley, I believe. Brent.
So Brent, is that in London?
Yes, sir.
I don't live in England.
It's a borough, like you have the Bronx, you have Queens. Yeah, we have 32 boroughs.
Okay, you're mentioning New York counties right now. Here they call it county, right?
Well, no, in New York, they're called boroughs.
Yeah,
there's 6 boroughs in New York, and we have 32.
Okay. Jersey uses county. Las Vegas uses county.
Sure. Okay. But in the city itself of New York, there's 6 boroughs, I believe.
Okay, I didn't know that, but thank you. We'll learn every day. This one says, tapping from Roger. Yeah, thank you for catching that. Jose Mourinho used to treat Arsenal with the disdain. Is that disdain? Okay.
Yeah, hate.
Okay, disdain. What did you say that means?
Disdain means hatred.
Okay, treat them with disdain that they deserved, like the 6-0 at the Bridge. Or Wenger's 1,000th game. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, happy birthday, Arsenal. Hold that.
best comment of the night, by the way.
Yep. That delicious comment at that, but that just because Roger conferred that on that comment, not me.
Sumptuous.
I have to be honest. Gusto on the right, Kuko on the left. I think, given what Roger have said, and Showtime also, I think that would be like him starting afresh. That would be no different from him starting afresh again. I wouldn't mind playing him in the right back position. He's also good at unsettling players.
Also, coach, when you look at the first game versus Liverpool, we played. I know it's a hybrid, but we played with a back 3 versus Liverpool. He may decide that when we play, the top 4, 5, 6 teams, that we may play with a back 3, unless he believes we progressed enough that our back 4 is stabilized. Don't take that out of the equation, is what I'm saying.
And do I think he'd go with the back 3? I'd say no, if you ask me. But let's
I
see.
don't either, but I wouldn't be surprised, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I hope you know why Mitch is telling me, Coach, I told you.
About the tapping.
About Gusto.
Oh, Gusto. Okay.
Yeah. This is only injury will give a Cucurella a game, in your opinion. That may well be the case, but managers sometimes they wouldn't want to risk bringing somebody who's just recovered from injury. Yeah, ball watcher. So you don't like him. Like Gallagher, Poch needs to work on Cucurella's discipline. That aspect has improved on the right hand side, I have to say. He had 2 weeks with them. Yep, which is the reason why he may well start tomorrow. Gusto right back, Kowo left back, possibly, but we'll see.
Possible.
We'll find out tomorrow. So, Richard, what do you make of that argument? Leaving spaces outside the box that Arsenal exploited very well last season, but I think that hasn't happened for a while.
Listen, all last season for the most part, and I know Bobby, and I respect Bobby a lot, and I know he will point to the fact that Kepa is not exactly blessed with great height and wingspan, but we were conceding not goals, but even shots from outside the box. We weren't even closing down shots inherently.
It was opponents would just shoot.
Yeah, and I found that really disconcerting from a goalkeeper's perspective, because this is like 101 defense. This is what they teach you in middle school, you know. It's so I think hopefully that we will not see that again. Hopefully this will be eradicated or minimalized at the very least. So yeah, that's a valid point. You're right. I mean, we did allow so much space on outside of the box. Hopefully this will be rectified, but this cannot continue. And I think we've seen progression in that so far this season for the most part.
Yeah, I think we've done well.
If you look at Gallagher, for instance, okay, there's one thing that, you know, I'm not sure whether this is a valid stat or not, but observe how many times do you see him closing down a shot? He's done it time in, time again. He puts his body on the line, and that's what we need to see more often.
Yeah, hopefully with that they don't score from outside the box tomorrow, because we allow them a lot of space without closing down the player. But that's why. Anybody else on the panel has anything to say before we call it a day? Yeah, I know it's Friday. Yeah, we still have 45 minutes before it's time to go pick up my boy from school. Anybody else want to say anything else so we can call it a day? I have to bake too, because I have something else.
What time's your show tomorrow, Coach?
We have a 3 a.m. show tomorrow. That's the prediction show.
3 a.m. You mean Pacific time?
PST, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
11 o'clock.
So all the pregame shows, all the match prediction shows will still be 3 a.m. And I'm looking for someone to start hosting the Blue Morning Show.
That's 11 Greenwich Mean Time. Okay.
Yeah, the daily show, the daily evening shows will be 11 a.m. PST. Because right now, I gotta start putting the work in to finish my doctoral program. YouTube happened. I nearly gave up, but I said no. After sacrificing all this, I have to still
priorities. Coach, priorities.
Yeah, but anybody else has anything else to say before we call it a day? Bobby isn't here. Had he been here, I think he would have said something.
Roberto.
Yeah. I reckon.
I'm not going to tell you why I'm laughing until Showtime is done speaking. Go ahead, Showtime.
I reckon if Poch is going to go with a double six with two.
You think so?
I reckon that he starts Caicedo and Uguechuku. I don't think you start Enzo in that position.
I think Enzo plays.
I think, because of his price tag, but I think Uguechuku gives you more of a defensive presence in that position anyway.
Yeah, Bobby would love that.
Don't you think in a three-man midfield we have more protection for the back line than we have playing 2-6s? Because 2-6s, you can say focus usually in the central area. I get it; they're supposed to cover flanks.
Depends on who the sixes are, though.
Yeah, that's the truth. It depends on the sixes.
Those two at the six gives you more of a stability in the midfield than you get from an Enzo and Caicedo pair up than anything. I think push Gallagher up top because he's more of an attacking midfielder, but he also can track back and help on the defensive end. But I think that Uguechuku and Caicedo is a very good pair together. I just don't know why we don't explore it more. I guess you know why we don't explore it, because of Enzo's price tag. But I think Enzo, he hasn't been giving you what his price tag is. For me, he hasn't been giving me what his price tag is. Actually, his play is not.
No, I
It's
think
not.
Leslie is definitely a good player, but I think he
I
still
think Enzo's
lacks a
starting.
kind of like games with together with the other midfielders, and there is little bit lack of chemistry there. So it will take time, but he will also start getting games. But I think for tomorrow, it's because Gallagher, Enzo, and Casedo have played a lot of games now together, and they are starting to gel together. So probably, I think the only question would be like who he starts as a striker or whether he starts a striker at all. If he starts
I
a
think he
striker,
starts Jackson.
then the dilemma is between Palmer and Mudrik. But if he doesn't start a striker, then I think
Well,
Jackson would.
we'll find out in a few hours.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So Roger, again, just quickly, that thing is an Italian man I was selling a website project to. So I price that gave me when I work hard all of my life or something to that effect. Not to come his argument, but I can't say it exactly. Maybe after some time we'll talk about it.
Sure.
But that's, by the way, I want to say thank you to Showtime for finding the time to join us today. It's been a brilliant and excellent discussion. Through. Thank you to JC. Thank you to Bobby. I know, yeah, he wasn't. Had they been there, I think by now he would have said he would have given us 2, 5, 10 cents of his opinion. And thank you to Roger also. Thank you to the Blue Tiffle Game. Thank you so much. I'm Chelsea Mitchie Boy. If you're watching, if you haven't, go check out Mitchie Boy's YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. Let him know I sent you. We have Vic in the house. Let come there. Litness is greatness. We have Chelsea Mitchie Boy once more. Chimera in the house. Phil Seeps. And yeah, everyone else, I appreciate you
And
all.
Jerry, coach, Jerry, and
And
IDF.
yep, Jerry Z. But Jerry left early. Yes, if I missed your name, apologies, I'm only human. And thank you for Eddie, who sent me lots of the updates, the items we discussed today. I appreciate that. Thank you, all of you. If I missed your name, apologies, I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, bye.